Yeah, I don't know if I'm live or not. I mean, I should be, but like I don't know if like anybody can see. Like I have no idea. It should be live, but like I don't know. Okay, I am live. Abigail, Samantha. Last time I did this, I had everything set up perfectly with like my overlay, the cropping, and like I can't even figure it out. I don't even know what I did. I'm like super annoyed about it. It's just like, is it even worth watching? Oh gosh, the struggle is real. The struggle is real. If you guys are here, I'll go ahead and play for a bit. But it's like I did this last year. It's actually been over a year, so I don't even remember like what I did, how I set it all up. Like I don't have any references, and it's just like I just feel like I'm all over the place. Golden time. Why aren't you in a race? Did I just decide to let you go? Yeah, you're kind of yeah. You're not as I mean, granted, he won a couple last year, but like what did I get him for? Closer, okay, ability. Does anybody remember? Decent time of the day for you? Okay. I'm just gonna roll with it then. So bear with me. We are improvising. This is like the apocalypse happens and then Jaden, hello. The apocalypse happens and then it's like, hey, all of my main stuff is gone and I'm just putting it up the best I can. We still got to get the radio communication out there, right? Radio communication in this case is the live stream. So as long as you guys are here, I will just roll with it. Cannot wait till I can get my capture software. That will make things 20,000 times easier. But priorities. Priorities. Like I can't put anything towards it yet. And like I want something that's going to last me a long time and be reliable. So like what I need is still a little bit more than what is available at the moment. All right, let's get into this. Hit Eric and trying to survive by streaming. Yeah, yeah, exactly, exactly. Apocalypse hit, and the only way I survive, we survive, is by streaming. All right, we're just gonna roll with it for today, people. If you're watching this back as a YouTube video, I'm probably gonna edit it. Like I'll do my cropping and everything, so it'll look like a regular video. So bear in mind, it has been a frustrating setup to say the least. So we're in year 38. What we're actually going to do, as we always do, let's look at the little ones because that is the most important part of this whole process, this whole experience. The little ones that you guys have created or we've named. And you guys know what I mean, okay? You guys know what I mean. I'm all over the place. So that's what we'll do. That is what we will do. Um, let's start off with the 2-year-olds first, and then we'll look at the yearlings that were just born. So Point Black, from Diamond Plan out of Toxic Blonde. All that jazz, yeah. So this filly right here, um, she's got fast pedigree as far as her speed and guts are concerned, so that's good. 4-star future though. She's not going to be very calm. She's not going to have a good temper, which I'm not surprised. Toxic Blonde didn't have the greatest of tempers, I should say, but she has potential to be a really, really strong sprinter. I'm hoping. So she's 4 stars right now. Good power rating though. That's good to know. We have Storm Owl. Yeah, okay. Storm Owl from Golden Boy out of Chasing Hearts. Should call a horse all that jazz. I actually do like that as a name. If we can get to breeding, then we should probably do that. This is a 4-star future colt. Again from Golden Boy out of Chasing Hearts. See the pedigree. Goes very deep on the Golden Boy side. Back to Western Tiger and Aunt B, who has contributed to a lot of these horses. So not looking bad. East Side Band, 5-star future. I wonder if she'll be 5 stars max before she ends up getting sent to the stables. Diamond Plan out of Tigress of Stone, and you see how far back she goes. She's a true 4th generation filly from her mother's side. Yeah, the Aunt B Spice Girls, they have not quite left us, for better or for worse. Really excited for East Side Band. She should be a blast. Long Live Rapid Blade, 4 stars from Long Live Bolero and Irish Fleet. Um, I didn't really get much support with this breeding pair. I'm like, you know what? We need to buff up the Bolero bloodline because they have been really a disappointment since the great Bolero himself, as you can see way down there at the top right on the father's side of the pedigree. And we haven't had a horse as great as the great Bolero in this particular family. So I'm hoping this filly from Butterfly Effect, she should be fantastic. She's 4 stars across the board. You love the spice Aunt B is added. It surely makes things interesting because the thing is, sometimes the fillies that have a higher temper, sometimes they don't give us a huge issue, and then other times it's to the point where I end up losing the horse. So like you never know what we're gonna get once we do it, or once we get that horse, so to speak. But I'm really excited for this filly as well. Western Tiger. I mean, she has plenty in this pedigree to bounce off of, so I think she should be really strong, and hopefully again give us our first great Bolero horse since the great Bolero himself. We have Classy and Smart from Golden Boy out of Free Fear, not developing bad either. Again, a lot of Western Tiger and Aunt B in most of these horses, so that should help them out. Little Mai, this is Kayla's horse from Formal Opera out of the Moon Trapper. I can finally talk about the great Moon Trapper. You guys realize like my best original horses in this game right now that I'm racing with are from Moon Trapper. How insane is that? A grade 2 filly, a grade 2 mare is giving us like these super horses. Little Mai should be she should be fun, like all the Moon Trapper foals have been. And then we have First Down Dash from Golden Boy out of Black Ruby. She should be exciting. Fourth generation on her father's side, Western Tiger Aunt B, of course, is in there as well. Now the yearlings, let's see how they're developing. We only have 5, and I haven't changed the names yet. I guess we'll probably do that today. Gentle House and Real Happy. We have a 3-star colt here. It's pretty exciting. You see the pedigree, Arctic Crop, Night Breeze. So 4th generation on his mother's side. Pink Gemstone and Vivid Legend as well. Yeah, that should be fun. We have another colt, Fair Taurus, from Gentle House out of Chasing Hearts. 3-star power already. You see the pedigree here with Arctic Crop and Swab Buster. All these horses should be strong. I don't think we're going to have years of like bad horses anymore. I think we're finally out of that rut in this playthrough. Next up, we have Risky Knight from Fairy Singer out of Butterfly Effect. This will be interesting. I didn't really get any love for using Fairy Singer here, but I will see how this turns out. Western Tiger and Irish Fleet there on our mother's side. Then we move on to Holy Post, 1-year-old filly from Gentle House out of Free Fear. She's already 4-star power and 3-star calm, which is pretty impressive. I mean, I wonder if she'll be like a 95 plus power rated horse, you know? She's already looking super strong, the strongest in this group, in fact. Last but not least, another filly from Fairy Singer out of Moon Trapper. Bright Emerald is just her name from the beginning. And she has Desert Diver Aunt B in there, Fairy Singer as well. So we'll change those names later. We have a whole year to do it. Moon Singer. Moon Singer. I actually gotta like that. Moon Singer. I actually kind of like that as a name. So you know what? I think we'll do that since we're here. How about this? Since we're here, if you guys have names for the other 4 that we haven't named, just toss them out there. That's what we'll do. These are your horses this year. I'm just the jockey, and I'm just responsible for controlling all the logistics of everything else. But these effectively are your horses, so I'm just trying to bring them home with the win. Not Moon Trapper, Eric. Not Moon Trapper. My goodness, pay attention. Moon Singer. Moon Singer, not Moon Trapper, okay? I was just going to name her Moon Trapper again. And they weren't even going to let me keep the name. That's the funny thing. They're like, no, you already have Moon Trapper. You can't do that again. Oh, my gosh. Oh, man. What does my life come to? You guys have names for the others, the top 2 colts up here, and then the 2 fillies right here. So, or no, 3 colts and okay, there's 3 colts. So, Nervous Flower, Fair Taurus, and Risky Knight are all colts. Holy Post is a filly. Marksman for who? I actually kind of like that. I haven't even gotten my coffee yet. It took me like 40 minutes to get all this set up properly. Because like my phone was bugging and was like only recording in portrait mode, and I'm just like, no, this is not what I want. Angel Hearts for what? This Gentle House and Chasing Hearts? Any of the cults? Okay, I think Angel Hearts for this guy for Gentle House and yeah, Angel Hearts. That actually that's a good play on words with Gentle House. The name, the word gentle for that stud there. I like that. All right, cool. You guys are so good with names, man. I feel like it takes me like forever to actually come up with a decent name. Like the only good names I feel like I come up with my horses are like from my favorite songs. If I'm just trying to be creative, it just ends up just like not really working out. Angel Hearts. Yeah, there we go. I like that. Angel Hearts. I just randomly got the Sailor Moon theme song stuck in my head because I like saw something that reminded me of that on Instagram. All right, so we have two of the five. It's not even 2 a.m. It's like midday, and I'm all over the place. I'm all over the place. You know, Butterfly Effect was also a movie. Yes, never watched it, but yeah, Butterfly. Just that phrase alone is used in so much like pop media culture or just anything, movies, songs, TV shows, psychology. This Butterfly Effect is it's so funny because literally the phrase itself, when you think about it, um, it sends you down just a rabbit hole of just different things, and yeah, it's pretty wild. Messy, I call it full messy. What is there like a soccer like a league going on? I mean, not a league, like a tournament going on for FIFA right now? Because I was watching this streamer. He's from like the Netherlands, and there was everybody saying like they were getting. I forgot who they were facing. They were down like 3-0. Oh, what's going on? Yeah, what's the tournament? It's like I don't really pay attention to football before I get ridiculed for not saying it. Like I'm American, we call it soccer here, even though I know it's football. But it's like we have a sport that's called football, so I call it soccer for that reason. But regardless, nobody here unfortunately pays attention until the FIFA the World Cup. Lamb Queen for a Philly. We'll just do that for this one then. Cool. She will be Glam Queen. And if you come up with other names along the way, we'll go ahead and just roll with it. But I think this is good for now. I would like to get into a race to see how rusty I will be. Because I don't think I've played this game in I don't know if it's been almost a month, actually, now I think about it. It's actually been well over a couple of weeks. 2024 Euros. Got it. That would make a lot of sense, wouldn't it? Got it. All right, so we have 3 of the 5 named. We still need to name this cult and this cult down here, which, yeah, we can figure that out later. Okay, there we go. Let's get into a race. Actually, who do we have back here? I need to check the studs and the broodmare. I forgot who we even have available. I forgot who we have available. Marksman, Lockwood Tool. Oh, well, there you go. Thank you, Abigail. Galaxy Star, forgot we finally retired her, so she's back here. Double S Stamina, the first original broodmare to have double S Stamina. That's such a great feeling. Everybody else is A. For the most part, I mean, we've gotten better. Remember, stamina used to be at like a C at the average for all of our broodmares. We really have improved. Because look at all the girls we've had back here that were awesome. Chasing Hearts, our first original into the Hall of Fame. You know? Toxic Blonde, I mean, she was really fast for what it's worth. We need to find a perfect partner for her. Yeah. Tigers of Stone back here. You know how well she did. Real happy. She was fun. Butterfly Effect, of course, knocked it out of the park. Free Fear did very well. Galaxy Star was really untouchable. So, like, just think about where we used to be and where we are now. The broodmare quality has significantly improved. Is Golden Boy and Galaxy Star? I don't know if he did those two. And then for the studs, I mean, you got a couple question marks in here, but that's a given. But I mean, quality. We have Diamond Plan, Gentle House, Golden Boy, Formal Opera. You know, the others like Burning Wind, Fairy Singer, Courtly Lark. We'll have to see how they kind of turn out, but we're getting better. We're getting better. Golden Boy and Galaxy Star, are they related? Um, let's check the pedigree. So they both have honest, well, they both, I think they do both have Western Tiger at least. Let me check. Because I think I was going to consider breeding them, but of course I want to avoid inbreeding. But you got to be careful because the lines are getting a little bit close with some of the horses we have back there now. So we have to kind of be on the lookout for that. Oh no, they're not siblings at all. They have no common ancestry. Okay, that's good. Golden Boy and Galaxy Star then, right? We could try them for this upcoming year. I don't know why I thought they remember, like, all these worked except for whoever I was gonna breed with Galaxy Star. And the little dude was like, I don't think they're gonna work. Bah, 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 bah. I'm a bird, but I'm a horse. Bah. Like, shut up, dude. It's fine. It's going to work. It's going to work. We have to do it. As if she likes him. Yeah, that's true. I never know with our fillies, right? What was I doing with Golden Time? I know there was, I'm like, I don't care to race him. Was I just going to let the game take him away? Because I wasn't really impressed. I've got 3 grade 1s with him, but I'm like, what do I want to breed him for? Last to first, okay, like, I feel like I don't tap that ability. Yeah, his stats are, yeah, bad power rating. I'm just going to let the game take him away. All right, let's get into a race then. Let's try to. Trying to move along. Don't want to ruin the first baby of Galaxy Star. I would cry. Yeah, I would too. I would too. I would too. Trust me. Like, Galaxy Star is amazing. So. That's as good as it's gonna get. Whatever. I'll figure it out later. Red Wings is up in the just an open actually. Kick off the year. Year 38. Year 38, gosh. I still feel like I'm not even like, despite how much progress we've made, I still feel like there's still a long way to go. And, you know, because we're not close to winning the Dream Cup, the Dream Series at all. Like, still. But I think once we get our other horses in there, we should be. I hope. Anyways, Red Wings. She has decent odds here today. Racing amongst the 3-year-olds. Let's go ahead and check her out in the paddock. Or, yeah. There she is. Her stamina's bad. I don't know if she's peaking soon or not. I think she is, so that's concerning. Her feel's not good. She's from Silver Bullet out of Awesome Autumn. I forgot if I've won with her yet or how she's looking in that regard. So get her to the front and see what happens. I guess that's all I. Stream's still good for everybody as far as like just audio and video are concerned. You can see here. Okay, so she gets out pretty well here. Gosh, it feels so weird coming back to this game after playing 2003 and 2001 for like the last month. It feels so foreign to me. Why didn't Red Wings come out black or gray? I don't know. It's random, man. There's definitely RNG in here. It's all good. Okay, cool. There's definitely some RNG in here. Sometimes, like, your foals would just come out nothing like the parents at all. Like, I feel like that's becoming a little bit more regular here with our horses. They just don't end up looking like their parents in any way. Which, I mean, it's, you know. Appearance is great, don't get me wrong, and I love the appearance. But I also would just rather that they actually perform well. And, yeah, the grandparents, like, you got to consider as well. Our pedigrees are getting deeper now, so now we're getting our foals that are probably looking more like their grandparents, which I think is kind of cool, you know? Come on, Red Wings. Let's see what you got. You got plenty of stamina. Run them off. This is a real race, man. Red Wings, she's battling. We should have stretch burst in this last half furlong. Dig in, my girl. Dig in. Come on, dig in. No stretch burst. What a race. What a race. What a race. Holy crap. We are down to the line. I don't think we got it. Yeah, utmost mover. Gosh, do we even get second or third? Third place. Wow. I know I should have gotten her going a little bit sooner, but that was a grind of a race. She tried her heart out. I think she had a good stretch run, but they're going to say B, yeah, because I started a tad bit late. That's my fault, but that was kind of tough, man. It was kind of tough. The Gray got it? Yeah. She just didn't have that extra drive. She didn't have that kick that I was kind of hoping for to kind of pull away. Sometimes I like to keep things closer when our horses are young again because I need to see if they can pull away in those instances. The great horses we've had, they are able to pull away and create that separation, even if it gets a little bit tight. So Red Wing, she's still super green, but she fought all the way to the end. I mean, she was, what, a nose away from being first instead of third. So, yeah, we'll take it for what it's worth. We'll take it for what it's worth. Soy Conquistador, I'm just dropping her to grade 3s now, I think. I don't even know why. No, I'm not doing that. She's only 4 years old. This is just because there's no other races for her to run. Why is my live stream so delayed over here? Yeah. It's gonna be flat race season here in the UK. Yep. Getting to that good time of the year, you know. We're like finally, flat racing season is going to be a regular thing in the world, not just like in certain parts. So that'll be the UK, here in the States for me. She is the favorite. Her growth type is actually, it says fat for the time being. Let's see how this goes. See the speed of these horses and see the speed of these horses and seeing some of the power horses. Yep, for sure. For sure. It's the best time. I'm excited. I think my local track opens up actually late next month, which is so crazy. It felt like I just went to the last race last season, which was actually almost 6 months ago, and now it's like, yes, it's back. Sketchy, what's going on, brother? You're watching from a camera tower. Wow, dozen feet up. That's awesome, man. Well, welcome, dude. Glad you could catch the improvised stream. Oh, I cannot wait to get my capture software. I will. That is the goal, hopefully, this month. Don't look down, Sketchy. Yeah, I did that when I was in a building the other day for work. High rise, like 15 floors, and I looked down. I'm just like, that's a long way to fall, man. No Rebo. Soy should be fine. Should be. I don't know. I'm getting a little bit of a late run from the 13 here. Keep fighting, keep fighting, keep fighting, keep fighting, keep fighting. Get back on flat ground. Okay. Good grade 3 win for the Fillies Soy Conquistador. She puts that one away. I'll try not to look down. Basically, they needed someone to fill in since the other guy quit, so now I'm climbing up a rusty ladder up and down. Besides the ladder, I actually like the job. Well, that's good. Yeah, the ladder is always my first thought. Like, I'm not going to fall when I'm trying to, do this thing, am I? So I've had to do similar stuff. I mean, for a different field, but you get the point. Which, I mean, anytime you're using a ladder, it's just always got to be on your P's and Q's. But you're up there, so that's good. Everything seems to be working. If you look down and your stomach goes, nope, nope, yeah. Well, yeah, pretty much. Like, I used to have a fear of heights when I was younger. I don't anymore. But even still, like, if I'm super high up, depending on where I'm at, it's like looking down is just not a good idea, It's just like, I know what's down there. I don't need to confirm it with myself, right? All right, so that was another win for Soy Conquista. That was her 11th. Wow. I cannot believe I've been winning with her this consistently. I forget it every time. Then I come back, and it's like, oh yeah, we're like on a. I've only lost once with her. She has 6 grade 1s. I'm 11 for 12 with Soy Conquistador. Why does it feel like she's not doing anything special? Am I the only one? Gallop Racers should add twin foals born together. That would have been really cool. I don't know how common that is, like how often it happens, but that would have been cool. Yeah, I would think anybody that's been on horses regularly, you have to like eliminate that fear of heights. You know, there's nothing to protect me. Yeah, I feel that. Like Soiki Kizador is doing so well. Why do I feel like it's just not like it's just we're I just feel like I'm always overlooking how well she's doing. Six grade ones out of her 12 lifetime starts and 11 wins. She's only lost one race and she finished second. I've been winning with her all the time. And it just doesn't, why does it not feel that way? Like she's doing fantastic. I don't know if it's because her races have felt closer in certain instances and that just makes me feel like, maybe we've been kind of struggling, but like, no. Yeah, that's what I thought. I never really heard of that. I mean, since Gallop Racer, it's kind of, they try to be realistic, but it's still a video game at the end of the day. Could have been interesting, but it's like that doesn't happen in the racing world like that. You know. Be here, Jason. I mean, Jaden. What am I thinking about? Soy Conquistador. What is the goal with her this year? She doesn't. Does she have? She has no title. I don't even know what she's close to. I would say the twin foaling thing. That'd be cool for like a different game. Maybe not so Gallop Racer-esque now that I think about it. Like a game that doesn't focus on like some realism aspects of horse racing. I think like in a more fantasy type of racing game or fantasy horse game, that would, be cool if somebody wanted that. But for the racing world, that would not obviously be very accurate. So she has a grade 1 and 8, 10, 12, 10. Oh, she's close to a mid-champ title. Really close. Okay. So I need to keep her on the mid-champ path. Climax S, like, is that too much for her? 12 furlongs? She doesn't have the stamina for that. There's like nothing for her to run really for a while, so I'm just gonna have to stick her in like a grade 2 at 10 furlongs. Just kind of give her a tune-up. And then who do we just raise? Red Wings. I don't know about Red Wings, man. From Silver Bullet out of Awesome Autumn, like I don't know if she's just super late developing, or if she's still so green. It looks like she's gonna peak at like 4 next year. Her power rating will hit 70. Still don't know what her speed is. Still don't know a lot about her. Don't know her max distance. Don't know her growth type. Nothing. I mean, the important things are known, yes. I would like to be aware of how fast she is, but the game just wants to play hide and seek with that. Like, is she a dirt horse or a turf horse? Yeah, Sober wasn't great, no doubt. Like, it's not surprising. But like Awesome Autumn, she's been really good for some of the horses. Like, you look at the pedigree here. Silver Bullet and It's a Ghost, they were one and the same, basically. Like, they were not that much different. Sedate Ruler, you remember him, Nightbreeze, she was okay. The pedigree is Ash. So, I would just expect her to be a little bit better, At least better than her father's, but like she's super green right now, so I don't know. They want her in this open, 10 furlongs, I mean, sure, why not? Guess that's what I'll do. Shadow Rider. This guy's still so good. 9 grade 1s, 13. Yeah, let's see. Cleopatra, she's got 14 grade 1 wins. Valley King's got 4. Joker's Card's got 5. September Sky has 8. Solo Rider has 9. Frugal Arc has 10. Little Vixen has 4. This Vaporwave has 2. Soy Conquistador has 6. Vivid Eyes has 3. My Master has 6. Crazy Hunter has 5. Bay City has 1. Delta Dream has 1. Got some decent horses here. Feels good to finally be able to say that. Mr. King would be helpful making longer growing horses? Yeah, I would think so. Certainly what we need. Vivid Legend is in this field. He's the favorite. Bay City, my project horse, she's here, she's up. Grade 3 going 8 furlongs on the turf. And yeah, she's actually looking really nice from what I see. 9 furlongs minimum, so she's got endurance. Um, Great leg type. I can run her really anywhere from last place up until second place. She wants to run midfield. That's fine. Speed and stamina are good so far. 75 respectively. 78 power. In fact, let's just say she's an average 75 for those three stats. Already as a 3-year-old. She may peak quickly, but Stargazing didn't peak that quickly. I was able to run him until he was 6 competitively. So I think she'll have the same growth type. And you see the broodmare. You see it at the bottom. She's from Moontrapper. Moontrapper is the secret sauce in this game for us. It's crazy. Who would have thought? Rough. Good start. So can Bay City beat Vivid Legend today? That's the question. She certainly has the stats to. Whether or not I put her in the position to do it and whether or not she wants to get it done, that is up to her. I don't know what her guts rating is. It should be pretty high, though. She shouldn't have a bad guts rating as far as her heart is concerned. She's comfortable right now. I really don't feel any need to like adjust her pace. Jaden, welcome back. Welcome back. Like, she gives me no problems, man. I love a non-problematic horse. Where's Vivid Legend at? You know what? Who cares? Let's just focus on running our race, right? Let's go. Let's go. There it is. Game over. Game over. Bay City is gone. Bay City is gone. Yeah, Vivid Legend. Goodbye, bro. Goodbye. The Moontrapper horses are the secret. She got tired at the end, but she made it work. She made it work. Bay City with another win. Let's go. I have an idea. It just popped up into my head that if a 2-year-old colt can't win at least 3 grade 1s, then maybe they are a grade 2 only horse. Yeah, I haven't thought about that. I guess we are getting to that point. It depends, you know? Because so many of our horses have a later growth type now. Some of them do, not all of them. Like in 2003, in that game, all of our horses have like late growth type. Every single one of them. In this game, some of them are still peaking quite early. So I would say maybe for the ones that are, I don't know, maybe for the ones that are peaking early, yeah, if they struggle to win grade 1s in the beginning, then yeah, we should immediately drop them to grade 2s to at least keep their winning profile up. Oh, the game thinks it was a perfect race. Let's go, man. The sheep gave birth to 2 girls. Nice. Congrats. That's awesome. Yeah, Abigail, that's a interesting idea. I think certainly depending on their growth type, we should kind of do it like that. If they're going to peak quickly and they can't win grade 1s, then yeah, we just need to drop them to grade 2s. I would agree. Well, it's another win for Bay City. A ranked. She's on a roll, man. 4 wins out of 5 starts with a grade 1. Yeah, Bay City from Moontrapper. The fast growers, yeah, but for Valley King growth types, then maybe they need patience. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. You know, Valley King, he wasn't gonna, like, I tried to win grade 1s with him early on, just it wasn't possible. His stats were way too green for that, you know? He was just not capable of winning at that level. Now, you know, now I think he's ready for that, and that's why I'm putting him in the GWS this year. I still don't know your max distance, my girl, but I suppose it doesn't matter. We're in a grade 3 or grade 2, set her up for a grade 1. I don't know what to do. Run her in a grade 2, actually. I think she's ready for that. Top 3 go to the Azalea Cup. Perfect. All right. Don't even know who's racing now. Portugal versus what happened right now. If only I was, I'm not keeping up at all with soccer in any regards, really. Only sports I'm watching are Formula One. That's actually about it. It's actually the only sport I'm watching. And then, of course, horse racing. Anything outside of that, I'm not keeping up with at all. Now, grown boy. You try to stuff with big boys and girls. Yep, I think so. Snopey, that's a cute name. That is a cute name. And it's a colt. Never noticed that horse, actually. Bolero's gal, she's up in this grade 3. The game's saying she has no chance. But you can see her growth type. Boleros always take years to grow. So this is like a horse we have to be patient with. You know, we can't expect winning with her first year to 2. Still don't even know the rest of her stats. I mean, the fact that we're here and still don't know really anything about her. Still don't know her leg type, her stamina, her speed. Like, so many question marks, man. But fortunately, we have a long time. Yep. Which is always good. Ultimately, that's what you want. Except you want a horse with a long growth type that can be winning pretty early on, you know? Like, you want a horse that's not going to peak until they're 5, but you want to be winning with them as they're like 3 years old. That's ideally how you want things to go, right? Depends on the horse, though. We can't always have that. Bolero's gal is one of those horses that, yeah, she's not going to be much of a winner probably until a year and a half from now. 2 years, maybe. Like, she's going to have to develop a lot all of her 3-year-old season. I have no idea where she wants to be. Like, the game is not telling me. I don't feel like going into singles mode and figuring it out that way. We have too many horses. Oh, she's not having a good day. Okay, she's not happy. She's not happy. Somebody blocked her. She was not happy about that. So she has a temper. I didn't recall the Boleros having tempers. Is that something new with her? I mean, a horse got in front of her, but it wasn't like she was going fast. That happens plenty of time with her other horses, and they're fine. So look at her stamina. Oh my gosh. Am I even going to be able to keep her that long? I mean, granted, like I said, we have top 12 goal. There's no pressure here. I don't know what I don't know what they want me to do with her. She's probably just going to go backwards. It's new as Onyx was a chill dude, and so was her father. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, there hasn't been temper in the pedigree, so I don't know where she got that from. But yeah, it's going to be hard to figure her out if, like, I don't know where she wants to run. That's, like, the biggest problem. Thankfully, you know, we have 12th goals, 12th place finishes, but yeah. Position D. Well, I don't know where she wants to be, God Racer, and you're keeping that from me because you thought that was a brilliant mechanic to include in the game. Keep their leg type hidden. Like, no, just at least tell us that. We can figure out everything else, but what's new, right? Frugal Lark, we're switching gears. She's up in a grade 2. It's just a tune-up for my girl. We already know the deal. She's 5 years old and still as strong as ever. I mean, she's actually at her peak. Frugal Lark is such an amazing horse. I don't understand why people don't, like, use her more. She has been one of the best horses in the entire series since the first game. Like, she's such a good horse, man. She's such a good, reliable, easy horse to acquire. It's not like you have to go through hula hoops to get her. You can literally just buy her when she pops up in the shop. Snopey came 4th. Beat the brakes off of us. And Gallop 2004, if the horse wins big races, does the breeding fee go up? Yeah, for sure. Definitely. Definitely. Like, I'm curious what will happen once I have a horse that I just put in the biggest races, which maybe that was the case for Golden Boy. It didn't really feel like it. He has the highest stud fee of all our studs back there. Bigger than Diamond Plan, Gentle House, Formal Opera. Golden Boy's stud fee is almost 40K, which is the highest I've ever had in this game, period. But, like, I didn't feel like I raced him in bigger races than the other horses. That's the weird thing. I don't know. I was so surprised they ended up giving him the eval they gave him. Like, they're saying he's like the best stud back there. And he didn't achieve the best things. He didn't even get, I don't even think he won the GWS, did he? Maybe he did. I'll have to check. I don't even recall Golden Boy's in the Hall of Fame. And the game is just like, oh yeah, this is like the best stud you should probably use. We're gonna just tack this $37,000 stud fee on him. I really don't. It's just I feel like the time with him was such a blur. I can't recall him being like that dominant, even though I know he was a great horse when he was at his best. But like, I didn't run him as long as I wanted to. And again, I don't think he was a Hall of Fame horse. So that's. I swear, some stuff in this game is just RNG. Like, there's no actual sense to it. It's just the game just kind of computing random numbers and spitting it out and saying, "Oh, yep, this is what we're doing," and you're like, "Oh, okay." I guess. La-di-da-da-da. Who is the most expensive broodmare in the barn? Can you check that? I don't think you can. I mean, once you do the breedings, I know, but I don't think you can look at it the same way you can look at the studs. Yeah, they don't have a price tag. You just see what the cost is going to be once you match them up. But like they don't like when you're looking at them, you can't see like a specific price tag for them like you can with the studs. Frugal Art doing Frugal Art things. What's new? Let's move on. Next. Like I said, she's a great horse. If you're watching this back as a video and you're getting into Gallop Racer and you see Frugal Arc, pick her up. She's a great horse. I feel like she doesn't get the attention she deserves. Like, she's such an easy horse to work with, and you're going to get great horses from her from breeding. Like, it's really a no-brainer. See you, Jaden. Appreciate you hanging out with us. See you in the next video or live stream. Take care, my friend. And have a good rest of your day and week. Wow, Frugal, what to do with you now? What titles does she have? This horse of the year in GWS Turf. Well, I'm not going to put her in the sprint. Is she close to like any of the regular titles? Launch champ? Okay, she's close to mid and lawn champ. I'm just going to keep her in races 9 furlongs and up for the grade 1s. No particular order, just whenever she gets there, she gets there. So I should run her in the Climax S. This could get her lawn champ title. Am I missing anybody else, or is everybody else good? Yeah, I think everybody else is good. Valero's gal, gosh. You and my girl are green, man. Like, is she a dirt horse? No. I mean, dirt's in the pedigree, but like, there's no indication she's a dirt horse. But have I raced her on the dirt yet? Raced her on the dirt once. 3 races, and the best result she's had is 11th out of 14th. Green grass, yeah. Whichever race she is blue for. Yeah. They want her to run in 8 furlongs. Okay. For an open, that's fine. Yeah, she's super green. I hope she starts developing a little bit better. It's really slow right now. But it's part of the process. Yeah, I think we're good with everybody else. Cleopatra, what am I doing with you? I think I said I was just going to keep racing her until there's space. Like, after this upcoming breeding. After the newest foals are born, and I think I'll put her back there to replace whomever. It's so much racing, bro. It's the only downside in this game to having so many horses. It takes forever to, like, proceed and progress. Delta Dream, I'll check him out afterwards. I was thinking about him, and I just kind of glanced over it. Oh, Red Wings is back up again. 4th favorite. She's fighting hard in her races. It's just like winning is still a bit challenging, but her stats are not great right now. 48 stamp, 16 feel, 44 heart.
Oh, that's kind of a bummer.
It's kind of a bummer. All right, let's see how she does. I will probably I mean, yeah, I guess I need to just keep doing what I'm doing. Sexy Sunrise. Is that horse in this field? Yeah. Yeah, the names really are silly. Some of them, especially. Just putting just the most random words together and saying this is going to be a horse's name. Like, there's a horse, Sexy Sunrise, in this field, and then in the same way, there could be a horse called, you know, like what's another name in here? Mental Dramas is right there, the 9 horse. There could be a horse in this game called Mental Sunrise, you know? Like, it just, some of the names don't even make sense. Yeah, she's not happy about the pace here. I don't know what you want me to do, my girl. Like, we're not supposed to be in the lead. You got to stay in the pack here. She wants to go faster, but, like, I can't do anything about the pace. She doesn't like the field. Oh, gosh. Okay, we need some space. Didn't mean to bump, but it kind of happened. What am I going to do? I can't get through this gap. Now I can. Jeez. Okay, send her off there like a rocket. Let's see if she can actually create some separation. Let's go, let's go, let's go. All right, Red Wings pulling away. You boxed in, lady? Yeah, a little bit. I didn't want to keep her that boxed in. I wanted some space, but you know. I'm also at the mercy of the AI to give me some space. I mean, we broke from gate, you know, post position 1, so I wasn't going to move her on the outside. I should have kind of created that buffer, which I usually do. Either way, we get the win. I suppose it doesn't matter, but I need to remember that from now on with her. Because some horses I can have in that position and they're fine, right? They don't give me a problem. They're not going to say anything about it. Too restrained, yeah. I have not actually had that pop up from one of my horses in a while. Too restrained. That's unusual to actually pop up. That usually never happens for our horses. I mean, not never, but like if a horse is boxed in and they're uncomfortable in the race, too restrained doesn't pop up in the post race eval. So that's actually quite different. Yeah, they never give up safe, but a win is a win. Sexy Sunrise was second. Go figure. The horses with the silliest names always seem to finish pretty close to the money. Cully D is here. Meet you. These names are ridiculous. They really are. Second death, like. Vivid Eye, she's the favorite here. 11 furlongs for this grade 2 on ZTF. And this girl's from Vivid Legend out of Moontrapper, and she's a beast. And her stats aren't bad. She's a mid-70s horse, okay, but like she's strong. She's very strong, and that's what's important. She has the speed, the stamina, the power, and the heart to compete with anybody out there, even if they're slightly better than her statistically. That is what allows her to be very dangerous. The horses are in the gate. Yeah, it was a start and it was great. Like, she gets out so well. You got to laugh at the names and smile. But yeah, they really are. That's part of the fun in this game, you know? That's why it's like, this is not a game that's supposed to be taken that seriously. Like, it's really goofy. I talk about it in our videos all the time. Like, this game is honestly pretty goofy, even with some of its realism aspects. But that, to me, is the whole joy of it. I feel like sometimes, like, the community loses sight of that. And it's like, instead of taking the game so serious, like, remember it's just a game and it's kind of a goofy one. Like I said, even some aspects of it that are realistic and that are so fun, you know, and adrenaline pushing, like, it's still a goofy game, you know? At the end of the day, from some of the things. But that to me is the whole appeal of Gallop Racer. That's why, like, I don't take it, like, so seriously to that point. I would have to, like, argue that point for years, like. Still a goofy game, people. I'm not supposed to be taking this so seriously. Whack, whack. Still need to get on that. Okay, she wants to go like a rocket, holding her back. She settles nicely. Like I said, it should be a cakewalk of a win for us here. Actually, I'm going to keep her off the rough. One tap. And go, my girl. And Vivid Eyes pulling away. Pulling away. Good run, my girl. I said it was going to be an easy win, and it's an easy win. Coast on, my girl. Coast on away. Vivid Eyes, another dub. At least I'm not losing races, right? I haven't failed any of my goals today. I'm hitting it on the nail. Yep, got her off the rough. I will run on the rough if I know the horse is powerful enough to handle it, which technically she is, but it's like there's no need to do it still. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I will do that on certain horses just because I know they're so strong it's not going to make a difference. But in that case, it's like, yeah, we don't need to do that. So she's fine. Run her off. All right, back-to-back wins there for Red Wings and Vivid Eyes. Let's look at Delta Dream before I forget. Mr. Delta Dream, Mr. Delta Dream. 86 speed. This guy's going to be like a 90 speedster, hopefully. Good heart rating. Don't know what the stamina is. Is a closer and a dirt horse. Grit, Southpaw, Dominator from Formal Opera out of Pink Gemstone. One grade 1, which is the Young Crown Cup B1. Looking strong. Delta Dream looking strong. No surprise. A horse named Delta Dream should be strong. I just feel like that should just be handed in. Red Wings goes up to B ranked from that win. Are you kidding me? This is Abigail, this is literally what we were just talking about. This is exactly what I mean. This game is goofy. She wins one open race and the game's like, yeah, she's a B ranked horse already. Like, are you kidding? Like, look at the stats on the right side. That's not really attractive. It's kind of gross. 64 power, okay. 65 staying. I mean, I know those will probably hit 70, but the feel, the heart, the toughness, those aren't looking good. And 83 response is good. 48 stamina is abysmal. It makes me want to cry every time I look at it. She wins one open race, and they say she's a B-ranked horse. Maybe she is. Maybe she is. But, like, I would not class. Yeah, I'm with you. Like, I still think she's like a D-ranked horse at best right now. D, borderline E, not quite E, but she's borderline. B, they want her in a grade 3 now. Okay, sure. I'm just gonna follow the path AI put for her. I have no expectations with Red Wings at this moment because I still don't know her speed, her temper. I don't know her max distance. I'm like there's still question marks with her. But according to the game, she's a B-ranked horse. Yeah, Delta Dream should definitely be above her, and my guy's still at C. Like. Our boy is still C ranked. This is exactly what I mean. The Gallop Racer is really goofy. Vivid Eyes is still getting stronger. After that win, several of her stats have bumped up. Moon Trapper, man. Moon Trapper is the key. 13 out of her 14 finishes in the top 3 for Vivid Eyes with 3 grade 1s. She's working on a mid-champ title as we speak. Let's see what we can do for her. Second cup. Does she have it? She doesn't have a GWS title, does she? If I don't know how to pronounce your name. Omar? Baki? Welcome. Yeah, let me know if I said it right or if I butchered it. Can't wait for Storm Owl to hit the track. Yeah, same. Okay, no titles for her. Duh. Let's put her in the GWS. Let's see how she does. I think she's strong enough, right? She's got the power, she's got the stamina, the speed, the heart. Vivid Eyes is turning out a lot. Well, we have one. How many horses from Moon Trapper do we have on track? We have Vivid Eyes and Solo Rider, which are half siblings, who are both great. And Bay City. 3 half siblings from Moon Trapper, all doing fantastic. All right. Well then, I think we've got everybody set. We're finally in the new month. Let me do a quick save because, as always, I don't trust my PS2, and I've had too many freezes in my life to know better. It's the only thing about playing on the original console. I do like that about the emulator. You save. Unless your program shuts down, you can save at any time. Always hard save. Yeah. Always, always, always. Just literally cannot trust these games. It'll just freeze up on you at the time you're least expecting it, and you're like, why didn't I save? It was going to take 20 or 30 seconds. All right, bet on me. This filly, she's up. This open 7 furlong, if I could get my life together, on the dirt. Bet on me. She is beautiful. She is from Formal Opera out of Lee's Gold. She should be fast. She should be really, really, really fast. Hence the name Bet on Me. Statistically, I don't know about her. Temper, not great. Response, feel, they're all really below average, but we'll see. Miles, what's good? It's been a while since seen you in the stream. How are you? Hope you're good. Great to see you. Need to name those 2 colts that have not been named. Oh, yeah. Remind me after this race. I'll remind myself, too. All right. Bet on me. Good thing about this game, I can just kind of chill. Don't have to have my hand on the controller all the time. It's been a while. Straight. Thank you. Good to hear, man. Good to hear. Good to hear. Doing the same. Oh, what happened? What's wrong? I just poke you and go, Eric. 50 days. Oh man, what has happened to Bet on Me? Like what upset her? Ah, I don't even know what upset her. She was boxed in, and apparently she wasn't having it today. Oh dear. That's happening a lot more with the younger horses. Have you noticed that? I haven't had that happen. We've had 2-year-olds and 3-year-olds not go through that, and I would run them the same way. Not a happy girl at all. Golly. Ugh. Bad race. Bad race. I don't even know what happened there. Like, what do they want me to do? Didn't really give me a whole lot to work with. Wow, she's actually been pretty bad. I've only hit her target once, and I failed twice. That's not good. And they're saying she's a dirt horse. Baby names? Yeah, I'll get to it. Should I try her on the turf, or is she really a dirt horse? I don't want, like... Okay, so she's a dirt horse, but, like, she's not doing well on the dirt. Like, I don't know her leg type. That's the main problem. I don't know where she wants to be. Let me check Formal Opera and Lee's Gold. Well, is Lee even still back there? I thought I got rid of Lee. We'll do names. Let me check out Elite. What's going on, brother? Got home from basketball. Your legs are in pain. Oh, trust me, I feel that. I had to do a physical for this job, and it was pretty tough, man. I got through it though, but I want you to be in basically military shape. So it was. I'm still kind of recovering from that, and I did it Friday. Lee Gold is a mare. Oh yeah, I know. I thought I got rid of her. I can't remember. Who did I come back here to look at? Oh yeah, Formal Opera. What's your leg type? You can run anywhere though. That's what doesn't help. Like, how am I supposed to know? I don't even remember what her leg type is. All right, we should name the 2 colts. What are we doing? Nervous Flower and Risky Night both still need to be named. This first colt from Gentle House out of Real Happy. Real Gentle? How about that? How about Real Gentle? Oh, Marksman. I forgot. You did have the names. Never mind. Marksman. Yep. Actually, does Marksman work better for the other colt? Risky Knight, yeah. I think Risky Knight works better with Marksman, don't you think? I think it fits the pedigree a little bit better. Yeah, I don't know about Bet On Me. I have no idea. I don't know what the game wants me to do with her. I don't know where she wants to be. She clearly has a temper. Like, does she have hates packed? You know, is that an ability? Or marksman? I spelled that right. Okay. What was the other name for the other one? Marksman, and then this cult we have to name. You came up with it. I can't remember. What's the other name for this cult? Lockwood. Sure. That's what we'll do. And then once the newest foals are born, I think I have names already assigned for like everybody that contributed. Alive 2004, are you dreaming? No, you're not dreaming. It took me it was quite a pain to get this all working, and like I'm not satisfied with it, but it you know, we're here, right? This is just what I have to work with for the time being. It took me like 40 minutes to get everything set because my phone wanted to record in portrait mode and not landscape. So I had to like turn my phone off and on and like restart the stream before I went live like at least 7 or 8 times. It was really annoying. I almost just quit for the day. I'm like, you know what? No, I said I was gonna stream. I want to stream. We gotta make progress. So we are here. I just noticed all of the yearlings are 3 stars across the board right now. That is actually pretty nice. Lockwood, Angel Hearts, Marksman, Glam Queen, Moon Singer. Man, pretty tough bunch, eh? Make progress, beep beep. You know we have to. You know we have to. We are though. I think we are slowly. I mean, I've done well today. That was my first race I did not hit as far as the goal, and that's because like Bet On Me is I don't know, and like I don't know what they want to do with her. Tough. I mean, she has tough, stretch burst. Don't know her leg type. Don't know her temper rating. I wonder if she would. I'm gonna put blinkers on her. I know sometimes it doesn't make a difference. I know it does in Gallop Racer 3. I don't know if it's a thing in here. I'm gonna put blinkers on her just to see if that does anything for her. There you are. Blinkers. Temper 39. Oh yeah. It's not great. It's like the thing is about that. Sometimes I'll get horses with that type of temper rating and they won't give me a problem, you know? But I guess it just literally all depends on the horse, right? But yeah, 39 is not great. But I mean, we've had worse. We've had horses with like 16 and 20s. So, you know, we're down there, but not that far. Oh, Jada, welcome back. I thought you were like leaving for like the day. Collins, go away, please. Go away. Glad to see a couple of you in here. Welcome, welcome. Abigail has been here since the start. Delta Dream. Speaking of, yeah, what do you know? He's up finally. Second favorite in this grade 3. We're running 9 furlongs. Fresh light. We're getting some tough fields kind of to kick off the year. Usually these Sexy Sunrise is back. Usually a lot of these horses aren't racing with us in the beginning of the year, so. Aunt B with her very low temper of 10, I think. Polish Beat with 8. Yeah, I always forget that. And that's the crazy thing, because Aunt B never really gave me a problem when I raced with her. Like, the temper rating was bad and it was there, but I just felt like I was so locked in with her. Like, the temper rating didn't seem to harm us too much, you know? Like, I guess I hope for that in her offspring, and it's like, no. Her foals end up having a better temper rating, but they actually display more of the temper on track. As opposed to Aunt B, who had a lower rating, a worse temper rating, but like she didn't give me problems. I don't know. Yeah, she did. Yeah, she got on with it, right? Even if she wasn't happy, she would still get on with it. And maybe, I don't remember, did she have a really good guts rating? Heart rating? Maybe that contributed? You know, she always seemed to dig in, right? Her offspring, her children, not so much. If they're having a bad day, they just throw in the towel. They're like, I'm not here for this. I want to go home. I want to graze. That's what they're saying. This racing thing, I'm not feeling it today. I want to go home. I want to graze. I want to eat some grass. Yeah. I think she had a decent heart rating, so that probably is why. I want to eat grass and oats. Yeah. That's why I really feel like a lot of her children are like, they don't have that same competitive drive as her. Most of them don't. Moontrapper is like the exception. Hence why all the Moontrapper's foals have come out fantastic, because she really is like Aunt B, just without the superior stats. She has the same guts, and that's transferred to all of her offspring. And ironically, they're all doing the best out of all my horses. Now, I know I shouldn't be this far back, but it's okay. I'm not panicking. It's okay. We're fine. We're fine. Now, I don't know if the inside is open. Is it open? I don't know if the rail is open, because they're running 6 wide up there. I want nothing to do with that. Black screen for you? Is it a black screen for everybody? Hold on. What's going on with my laptop? Hold on. Abigail, just try refreshing like the quality rate. Like that will sometimes happen for me on your phone. You should be able to adjust it. Like go to 480, 360, 720. Sometimes that happens. I don't know why. I think it's a YouTube thing and they just don't care to fix it. It's been that way for years. Your internet dropping out. Oh, that's not good. It's okay for you, mouse. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm all good. But that's what I would try doing. If it's your internet dropping out, then obviously that's a different story. I cannot move the way I want with my directionals. They feel so stiff. I wanted him right in that gap, like clear as day. Oh, look at Delta Dream though, pouring on here. Oh, and Tough, I forgot. What a dude. What a dude. He bumps the horse and gets grit and it still pulls away. What a dude. What an animal. Oh my goodness, Delta Dream. This dude is like, contact for what? This dude is like, contact is not a thing. I literally just read off that ability before we raced them. I'm not used to having horses with tough, so I forget, like, yeah. Because I feel like I make contact on horses that don't have tough, and it always ends up hindering us. But in that case, dude is like, I'm pushing on. What a win. I said I was going to win it, but... You ordered a new router because it's been happening a lot. Yeah, I've had that issue before. It's literally all you can do when your internet kind of gets to that point, it seems. Just kind of annoying, but you know, what can we do? Man, what a win there for Delta Dream. I did not even have him set up properly the way I wanted to. And now that I know that, I mean, I'm not going to be bumping horses out of the way to get the win, but like sometimes the AI are stubborn in this game and you do just have to move them aside, because in reality, like, you know, actual jockeys would be trying to give their horse a clear gap. It's like nobody wants to really bump another horse unless they're just a dirty rider. Faster speed, hopefully. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. That was a great win there for Delta, man. Great win. Shallow Light, she's up in an open 10 furlong. She is the second favorite behind Prior Affair. My project horse, she's 5 years old. Still on the greenish side, but she's showing some promise. She has good ability, second wind, strong heart, and persistency. Power rating is almost at 80. Her speed and stamina still, though, not good. Like, it's been stuck at 68 and 66, it seems like, for almost a year. It's weird. So I hope she gets a serve. All right, let's get to the front, my girl. Get to the front, get to the front, get to the front, get to the front, please. But she's getting to the front a lot better. Some of those numbers are not looking too great. Yeah, they're not, right? But I'm also keeping my optimism at a decent level, because like the game will do that where their stats will just be stuck at the same numbers, and then they'll just have this serious surge where like they'll just start growing instantaneously, you know? I'm hoping that's the case with her. I'm hoping she's not just going to be like a low 70s speed and stamina type of horse. That wouldn't be good at all. Would it surprise me? I mean, not 100%, but her stats have been stuck for a while. That's why like I'm not panicking. I'd be panicking if her stats were still growing in some categories, but just not really hitting the numbers I want. They've been stuck for like a while. It's just weird that she's 5 years old and like there hasn't been much progression with it yet. But again, like they just haven't really been moving. So I'm remaining optimistic. They'll start to pick up randomly through this year because she's still not. She's still ways off of her peak. She's not going to peak until she's 6 years old, actually. Yeah, she has similar growth to Mr. King. So that's why I'm trying not to panic because I feel like her stats are still gonna take some time. Second win. Oh, look at this. I still think she's going to be okay once she gets there. You know, it's a long, long path for her. She is not, you know, most of our horses, they'll start showing a little bit more. I think she's really, really late. But she's not going to peak until she's 6. We get the win, as I said, we needed to do. Second win. She's great out front. Like, I'm doing better with her out front. I think, like, her wind is building. Her wind is building. That's why, like, I'm not panicking yet. I think she needs more time. Like, we'll have to look at her chart again. And she's still not even close to the top. It's still like a third of the way there, you know? So she still actually has quite a bit of developing to do, which is good. That's actually good, because maybe we can have a really fun 2 or 3 years with her once she hits 6, you know? 6 and 7-year-old seasons can really be walk out of the park. We're moving on to another grade 3, 6 furlong sprint. Finally, I feel like I've done no sprints today. Little Vixen, she's up. We have Dear Son in this field, Man Stew, Fine Saint. It's gonna be a tough year. I'm excited for it though. Little Vixen from Diamond Plane out of Pink Gemstone, 90 speed gal here. Dear Son, Fine Saint, yeah. Like we're getting some really tough fields this year. Look at Little Vixen. Sustained growth type, she's 4 years old. 98 braking, 90 speed, 71 feel. Powered might hit 70. Do you have any accolades, or do you chase any accolades with your horses? As far as like the titles are concerned, if that's what you're asking specifically. Just want to make sure I know so I can answer properly. Oh yeah. For most of them, I'm always chasing titles. I'll go ahead and remind you what I'm kind of focusing on for everybody after this race. Dude, Little Vixen is such a monster, man. She really is. 10-7, 10-8 fractions. Of course, you're going to get that. And we're off. No Rebo, she doesn't need it. Like Iron Horse, Turf Emperor. Those, I don't know if I still have the right horse for those yet. I'm still kind of working on like the easiest ones to get right now. But I'll have to double check. Little Vixen is just like an upgraded Pink Gemstone. That's really all she is. She's Pink Gemstone like ×2. Like, she's so good. We just put Fine Saint and Dear Son like out of the water, man. She blows Fine Saint and she sets the record. What'd I tell you? This girl is a monster, man. I told you she's a monster. She sets the record. She beats Fine Saint and Dear Son by more than 5 lengths. You want Turf Emperor with Regal Soul? Yeah, Regal's really good for that. 10-3 in that last fraction. She almost ran a 9. She almost ran a sub 9, like a 9-9 fraction. That's actually insane. 4/10 off, or 4,000ths off. No, 4/10. Yeah, 4/10 off of running a sub 9-9. That's pretty crazy, man. Well, she's so fast. She's so fast, man. Pink Gemstone was fast. But Little Vixen is insane, bro. She is insane. What a win. Gosh, so many races today. We'll love Shallow Light to do a Stayers campaign next year. Toronto Stakes, King Cup, London Gold Cup, Dublin. You know, since you said that, Arminio, I'm actually going to try to keep that in mind. I'm going to go ahead and just... that. Let's try to remember. Cool. I never thought about that. That's actually a really good idea. We'll definitely give that a shot with her. See how she handles that. Especially as a 6-year-old, I think she'll be in a better spot to maybe win those races. She should be able to. If she can't win grade 1s next year, that would be a real big disappointment. Solo rider. He's up here in this grade 3, 9 furlongs. Just a tune-up. Should be easy for us to get the win here. And this guy's stats are still good enough for him to be competitive, considering he peaked 2 years ago for Shallow Light. So we'll go ahead and do that. Make sure to put that on my notes after the stream. It's just a tune-up. I wonder what a Galaxy Star Mr. Solo Baby would look like. As long as there's no inbreeding, probably monstrous, I can imagine. As long as there's no inbreeding, that will more than likely happen at some point, for sure. Because I always find horses, those races hard to win. Yeah, I know what you mean. They're considered like the easier races in the game, but they're actually quite tricky to win because you always end up getting pretty competitive fields. Like, I feel like every time I run in those races, there's always really good horses there. Always. Like the King Cup Spring, that's considered a domestic grade 1 in this game and not an international. But that race is still challenging every year because there always is at least a tough 3 or 4 horses you're going to have to battle against, you know? So, yeah, they're definitely, I think they're a little bit tricky. They can catch you off guard if you don't have the right horse running in it. Who is trying to, oh, what? Okay. I didn't think that was actually going to happen, but it did. That's fine, whatever. I didn't think they were going to allow that to transpire the way it did, but no problem. Solo Rider's a beast. He's going to make quick work of this field and put them away. Remind them he is the king. This guy's from Moon Trapper, guys. This horse is from Moon Trapper. Don't forget it. Do not forget it. Don't forget it, man. Because they have like the Classic and Distaff and so on. Yeah, exactly. I think the World Cup races are Breeders' Cup. Yep, they are. Because it happens literally at the end of the year, like October, November in this game. In fact, it happens at the last week in October, so it's close enough. It's pretty much, like you said, this game's version of the Breeder Cup. Which is really what I love about Gallop Racer. It takes all the biggest important races from all regions on the planet and they put them into this game. North America, Europe, you know, Asia, Australia, right? Take the best races from everywhere. So, how many wins was that? That was like 4 or 5 wins in a row. At least. That was 4 wins, back to back with everybody. Delta Dream wins a grade 3, Shallow Light wins the Open, Little Vixen wins grade 3, and Solo Rider wins a grade 3. Granted, those are all easy races, but still, like, it's just good to keep on that form. Good to keep on that form. Now I have to remember to put everybody in another race. Shallow Light. Yeah, her speed and stamina are, like, not developing. We need a new Gallop Racer. I wish. I really wish. You see here, look at Shallow Light. She's still not at her peak yet. Like, she's not going to peak until she's 6 years old. That bar is not quite at the top yet. So, there's still hope. There's still hope. They won her 9 furlongs, I guess. That's fine. Mr. Solo, they want him in the King Cup Spring. 16 furlongs. Why? I mean, I guess he can still run it, but, like, does he already have a lawn champ title? Is that even worth it? Oh, he only has 2 titles. What am I doing with this guy? Okay. I mean, what am I even working him towards? A mid-champ title? I'm working him towards a mid-champ title, but, I mean, I guess he's the best suited for this race, so. Okay, that's what I'm doing. Little Vixen. They won her in the Royal Cup. Say less. Whoa, wait. Yeah, okay. Get you on the Sprinters campaign, being that you're a 90 speedster. And who needs a race now? Delta. A-ranked Delta Dream. Finally. They move you up. They want him in a grade 3, not until June. That's really delayed. Is he capable of running in a grade 1 now? I'm curious. We don't have any other dirt colts. I kind of want to toss him in the GWS and see how he does. 86 speed, I mean, he's not slow. He should be somewhat competitive to see where he can finish in that regards. All right. Quick save, and we're going to get rolling on. It's a good year. I mean, it's a good start to the year. I swear I've only lost like I think 2 or 3 races so far out of the dozen we've done. So we're actually on a pretty good trajectory. So we'll see how this continues to go. Finally, he got the respect rating for Mr. Dream. Yeah, finally the game realizes he should be ranked higher than frickin' Red Wings. Yeah, I'm gonna put him in the GWS, Abigail. I want to see what he's capable of. 71 heart, 86 speed. He's got the tough ability, which turned out great. Last race we hit tough and grit in the stretch to get the win. So I think he's ready at least. His 86 speed is not a slouch speed number by any means. Doesn't mean he's the fastest in the game, but he should be able to hold his own if I can run him right. And 71 heart is always going to keep him close. But we'll get there. Native Spirit. Haven't raced with this filly in a while. It's a grade 3, 9 furlongs. She is from, he's stargazing out of Chasing Hearts. I don't know what this horse is going to be like. Should be good. Should be really good. Last corner leader, stretch burst, grit. So good abilities there for the latent ones. Stats, I know virtually nothing. Procedure, that runs 9 furlongs minimum with 65 stamina and 53 toughness. We know nothing. So still figuring this horse out. But should be pretty easy to get in that right window. Oh yeah, front runners with second win is so fun, man. So fun. Because we had that on Butterfly Effect, and now we have it as well on Shallow Light. So, yeah, that ability on the front runner is so fun. It just feels like you and your horse can just run for days, right? At such a high level, and just the field cannot keep up with you. It's a different form of domination compared to just having a horse that doesn't have that ability as a front runner, but just, can stay out there. That second win just seems to really give you an edge. That gray is pretty? Which one? Oh, yeah, the one behind us? Who is that? Evil Treaty. Evil Treaty. Oh, yeah, Evil Treaty. Yep. I feel like I don't ever pay attention to her that much, or him. Evil Treaty, Colt or Filly? I don't even remember, to be honest. Like, I pay attention to so many of the horses' names, but, like, some of them I'm just not even actually aware of. That matching hood is silks, yeah, I like when they actually try to, like, keep that up to some extent. Okay, we have last corner leader, so I need to actually get her on the run here. Okay, you have plenty of stamina to make this work, my girl. Come on. Are you getting bored, Native Spirit? Are you getting bored? Why is the field rushing you? Wow. She's going to finish 4th. Maybe now 3rd? That's like the 3rd time that's happened with her that I've raced with her, and I don't understand why. Like, I know the spurt wasn't great, but it's like, at the same time, how much, like, where does she need to be at that point? It's the same thing with her every time. Hood? Yeah, I was thinking that. Oh, they took her away. Yeah, they took her away. I mean, that happened a lot with her. I don't really know what they want me to do. She could have had a bad heart rating. Remember I said I didn't know her stats, and it just seems like she had plenty of stamina left. Her stamina at 65 wasn't bad. She should be able to last that race. I don't think she has a good guts rating, but it's like, how much further does she need to be out in front? I don't understand. And the game takes her away. Yeah, it's the first filly in a while. I think in a couple of years, so. Yeah, I forgot who has her. I just want to see. Yeah, she's one of those horses I don't know, couldn't figure out. Like, who had her? Cook? Which is crazy. Like, Cook's horses I've now been great with. Cleopatra. No, she is the second. Remember Flying Autumn? I lost her too. Same deal. Right? Yeah, I lost Flying Autumn too, so. Cook's horse and Mythical. And Mythical. We lost her too. Moonbee out of Lee's Gold. Yeah, Cook is kind of hit or miss with us. Either I'm really good with her horses or we lose them. So out of the 6 horses here, I've lost half of them. All Fillies. Lost Flying Autumn, Mythical, and Native Spirit. And they're A and C ranked. That's really interesting. And then we have Solo Rider, Shallow Light, and Cleopatra. Who, you know what I mean? Like, you can still get them. I can't. That's the thing. The game teases that. I never have an opportunity. It says you have an opportunity to get them back. I can never find them in a race. I've done it before. Trust me. You can't get them. Once you lose them in this game, they're gone forever. You don't get them back. Nope. Trust me, I tried for like years with several horses. Once you lose them, I think the game meant to give you the option and they just never like coded it properly. You don't have the option. You can see them in the races, but they're always registered with another jockey. They're never open for you to compete. That's why like I hate losing this. It's the only thing about this game I hated. Yeah, they've already predetermined rider, exactly. So, like, once you lose them, you've lost them. It says you can get them back, but, like, you can't actually get them back. That's so weird. Native, Mythical, and Flying Autumn, all Cook horses, all Fillies. And I lost them all a similar way. And then, like I said, you have the other horses from Cook, Cleopatra, Solo Rider, and Shallow Light, who I'm not going to lose, like, ever. I mean, look at Cleopatra. And again, people say that, oh, the horses are all the same in this game and that it's just jockey style. No, the horses are different. Sometimes you just, for what it's worth, certain horses you are in rhythm with and certain ones you're not. Like, these horses are not all the same. They don't all ride or run the same at all. That's like a myth. Like Malls, if I were to look for one of my horses like here, it'll already have a jockey next to their name, and I won't be able to challenge that jockey. Like, it's like a permanent thing. So once you lose the horse, that's it. That's what I don't like. It's my biggest gripe about this game. Taking your horses away is one thing. Not giving you the option to get them back is the frustrating thing. And that's what always happens. I can never get them back. And pink, Frank, and silver never gets your horses for weird reasons. Yeah, I'm not surprised with silver. I mean, I don't like his horses, to be honest. Like, the horses he has are just not anything that I want to work with, so that I'm fine with that. Me and Frank used to be really close, and the pink is so temperamental. Like, one minute she likes me and the next minute she doesn't. But it all makes sense now? Yeah. It's annoying. It's annoying, trust me. I'm positive they wanted to give you the option to give them back, and like they just never came back to the game to fix that. You know, like patching a PS2 game was not possible back in the day. Like, you can patch games now. It would have been patched, right? If this was a modern day game made in modern times, there would have been a patch for that. You know? I mean, think about it. For Horse of the Year, sometimes they have a filly in the colt spot and a colt in the filly spot. You know what I mean? There's definitely some issues and errors. They just never went back and double checked, which is kind of surprising. It's like they released the game with some of these goofy issues. Bet on me. Trying to figure it out with her again. We put blinkers on her, and now she's favorite. They've given her favoritism here today. 8 furlongs on the dirt. Her stats are still not great. I still don't know virtually anything about her. Don't even know her leg type. Former Opera, Lee's Gold. I forgot Lee's Gold. I forgot her leg type. So I don't know where she wants to run. Her father, Former Opera, he could run anywhere from last to first, really. So, blinkers can sometimes. I don't think anybody knows 100%. It's definitely a thing in Gallop Racer 3. Like, it's actually like in one of the manuals. But in this game, I'm not 100% sure. I think it depends on their leg type. Like, sometimes a Procedure can benefit from having a hood and blinkers on. Yeah, like what Abigail says. Hoods can make a difference if they're lazy. So that's why I usually always keep hoods on my horses anyways, not just because I like the cosmetic and aesthetic of it, but because, like, it does help the horses stay focused. I use that analogy in my daily life all the time. I'm like, just be a horse with the blinkers on, bro. You're not thinking about anything else. You're just focused on what's happening ahead of you. It's the whole point. It's kind of like it's, to me, it's just like the horses with like ADHD. They can't, that just focus on too much while they're racing. They need the hood and blinker to keep them focused. That's really what it is. I mean, we obviously know that, but in the game, like it's actually a thing. Just for certain horses it works, and certain ones it doesn't. Yeah, try it with your horses. I'm not saying it's always going to work, but for some of the horses that you feel like are lacking a little bit of that focus when they need it, oh my goodness, bet on me. Get it together, my girl. We're supposed to win this race. Can she fight back? Come on. She's a headache and a half, bro. I might lose this filly too. It's the only thing about having so many horses. Like, am I going to keep every single one of them? Probably not. Gosh, she is not happy no matter what I do. And I don't know where she wants to run. That's the main problem. Maybe she's a closer? I feel like I've been running her mid to precede her, but it's like, am I even going to have a chance to run her again? Not knowing where she wants to be is a big part of the problem. I talk about it all the time. If I don't know where my horses wants to run, like, it's kind of hard to put them in that window. You know, when they bolt, she's never happy with anything. And I think it's because I'm running her out of position. But again, the game is playing hide and go seek with her leg type difference, because she certainly is not benefiting anywhere near the front. Red Wings is up here, top 5 goal, so should be pretty easy. Is there a rough here? The track looks rough, but I don't know if it's actually there. Certain tracks, it's only there for a certain part of the year, so like, I don't know if that's the case here. And who is that bolting to the front? Bionic Angel, you know what? Have a field day. Have a field day. I want nothing to do with your pace up there. Nothing. Me and the rest of the horses with common sense, we're just going to chill back here. I hope I didn't lose bet on me, but like, I mean, let's be honest, man. We have to work with the horses that we can succeed and do well with. I'm not going to succeed with every single horse. That's unrealistic, and that just makes things more complicated anyways. I do my best with every horse, but if some of them, they're just too temperamental, it is what it is, you know? Muddy patch on the rail. Yep. A little bit of a late start, but we should be okay. I always hear that, but I don't know if be running in the rough. It depends on your horse, man. If you have a strong enough horse, sometimes running in the rough doesn't bother them at all. It depends on their power and toughness rating. Red Wings fighting well as always. We got to get top 5, and we will get a top 5. What I admire about this filly, she's always in the mix. She's not winning flat out, but she's always competitive to finish in the money. So maybe we can build some wins down the line. Not the best start. I feel like I've been a little bit sluggish on those, but these are not my best horses at all. We're like running half of like all of our newest horses in the green. Crazy Hunter. I haven't raced with this girl in a while. It's a grade 2, 11 furlongs in Oakland for the Oakland Stakes here in San Francisco. And Polish Storm is here. Major Salin, yes sirree. Real expert. Gosh, we're getting some tough fields this year. Cully Diesel here. This is actually a pretty competitive grade 2. Like, half of the field can win this race, honestly. Second favorite for Crazy Hunter. You see her stats. She's a monster. She's okay on the turf. She's great on the dirt. 90 speed. And no abilities, Leighton-wise, but who cares when you got stats like this, right? On horses in the game. She watches everybody that she can. And, yeah, she is the queen of names. Nobody has contributed more names in this series on this channel, in all of our series, longer than Abigail has. Like, there could probably be a notebook, a legitimate notebook filled of just horse names from Abigail, quite literally. You can play on your phone. Yep, I know a couple people do. Yeah, yep, you do. That's always so interesting to me to think about playing Gallop Racer on the phone. Gosh, I kind of wish I would have known that earlier before I started this series, because recording would have been a whole lot easier. But like, yeah, we're 38 years in with all the progress. I'm not restarting this. I'm not restarting a Let's Play file for this at all. And we still haven't even come close to winning the Dream Cup yet, so long way to go. Yeah, I've managed to figure out how to keep all the spreadsheets organized, but you have names for decades, really. It's always good. We need them, especially now since we're getting, like, it feels like 10 horses a year. We actually do need the names. Been on cruise control with Crazy Hunter this whole time. That's usually how it always is with her. Give her a good run. And no revolution. They have a proper PS2 emulator for phone. Yeah, I might need to get on that. Try it out for some games. Not obviously this one. Oh yeah, it's fine, Abigail. I mean, like I said, with how many horses we're getting, we really can't. There's no such thing as having too many names. I just think we should just always focus on just like the best ones out of the group that we come up with. Like if we come up with like 20 names, we should really focus on like the top 5, top 10 that we think are the best suited for our horses going forward, right? That's ideally what I think we've done, kind of as a community as a whole. Recently. I think we've just streamlined more of just finding the best names. Easy winner for Crazy Hunter, 3.5 lanes. Racy, she was on the rough and she's fine. That's what I mean. Certain horses are so strong, they can handle the rough and you're fine. Like you don't even like really think about it. Today Dancer, she's a horse I lost. I didn't even realize she was still racing. She's 5 years old now. I think I lost her. She was 2 or 3. Grade, God, we haven't been in a grade 1 in a while, right? I feel like, have I run in a grade 1 at all this year? Yet? In this live stream? I don't know if I have. Anyways, Eminem, she's up. 5th favorite. February stakes on the deck. 8 furlongs. She's still competitive enough to be a problem in this field. Might still be. Is this the first grade 1 today? Like, seriously? I can't remember. Like, I feel like I've done so many races now at this point. Like, this feels like the first grade 1 today. Today, Ruler's still with the record here, which is insane. I had not raced with that dude since, like, year 15 or something in this game. Yeah, I think this is our first grade 1 today. I don't think we've ran one. Okay, well, we're off with my master in the February stakes. She gets a good start as always. I'm going to go ahead and send her right behind the leader. Going to make sure I don't keep her boxed in. In fact, I'm just going to keep her on the outside. Who's that up the top? Today Dancer, setting the pace. Who's the favorite? Fierce Flyer. Okay. Today Dancer, you see my silks? How dare you? This dude is running with my silks. And I know why, obviously. That's how the game is. I'm being funny about it. But it's just like, how dare you? Racing with my horse, that's one thing. Running with my silks is another. Yeah, G1 start around this time. Who's even on her? Angelo? I feel like he always gets my horses, man. Let's go. Today Dancer has no chance, but she's actually doing quite well. I'm kind of surprised. Oh, this is a grind. Today Dancer is like still winning this race. What is going on? Oh, man. Wow, my master, no chance here today. Today Dancer actually ended up doing way better than I expected, and we couldn't even finish in the top 5. Bad spurt run on my behalf. Need to get her going a bit sooner. Universal Cup, 5th week in March, yep. That was rough, man. That was really, really rough. I kind of want to redo that. Yeah, that was foals are born. Great transition. I hope I certainly didn't lose Eminem. That would be frustrating, but ta-da! We have 8 new little ones. No, 7. I can't count. 7 new ones are born. Well, let's take a look, shall we? We have a filly from He's Stargazing out of Real Happy. You see the pedigree. 4th generation on the mother's side. 3rd generation effectively from the father's side now. She has Vivid Legend, Western Tiger, Lee's Gold, Pink Gemstone, Arctic Crop. I mean, good horses in there. That's the first filly. We'll get to names later. I'm not going to do them now because I have to go to my spreadsheet. We have another filly from Formal Opera out of Toxic Blonde. Third generation on our mother's side. Lots of gutsy horses in this pedigree, which is great. So I'm hoping this filly is as gutsy as what she's projected to be. We have a colt from Gentle House out of Chasing Hearts. Third generation. We're really getting some quite some variety in our horses now, as far as their birthmarks or socks or anything like that. Another colt, Gentle House and Tigress of Stone. He does look a lot like his mother. And I see this pedigree, Western Tiger, Suave, Arctic, Flying Cowboy, Gemstone. So I think they're all going to be solid. It's just a matter of whether or not they have any temper issues. That seems to kind of be the problem now. The colts from Gentle House and Butterfly Effect. This should be monstrous. We have Irish Fleet, Western Tiger, Butterfly Effect, and Gentle House in the pedigree for this colt. Means you can retire Cleo now. Yep, exactly. We move on to another colt from Golden Boy out of Free Fear. Again, look at the pedigree. Western Tiger, as always, is going to be in a lot of these. Aunt B, Free Fear. Really good pairings here, actually. This guy might be one of the strongest in the entire bunch. I think he could be the main horse to focus on. And another colt, last but not least, Gentle House and Black Ruby. And there he is. So 5 colts and 2 fillies. Wow. Okay. It's been a while. I feel like we've been getting fillies so much recently. It's actually kind of nice to get 1 year of a couple of more boys. Wow. All right, no high socks really, except for, that's not even a high one, no Free Mistral. Okay. Well, there's the bunch. Glam Queen is developing at 4 stars here from Gentle House and Free Fear. This filly looking good. All right. I mean, I'm happy. I think the potential is there for everybody. Let me make sure I didn't lose any. Who'd I lose? Bet on me. Yeah. Go figure. My master's still here. Thank goodness. I won the Osaka with her. I don't know why I did so bad in that February Stakes race. Universal Cup, she can't win that anymore. Does she have a title? I'm going to retire Cleopatra. I will not forget. She doesn't even have a title yet, bro. I need to... She needs one more dirt win to get a title, but, like... Is the game going to make that extremely hard for us now? It's like no dirt races for her for a while. It's kind of annoying. Like the Caesars Cup. It's like the next decent dirt race she can run in, and that's all the way in June. You know what I'm going to do? What should we do with my master? Should we try to still get her a title? I mean, she's 1 win away. I might as well, but like it's becoming a little bit harder. Her stamp's 55. Trying to run her 10 furlongs on the dirt doesn't even really make sense to me. So I'm like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Cleopatra. We can retire her officially. She has 5 titles, mid-champ, long-champ, all-rounder, GWS Turf, and Horse of the Year. I think that's good enough. Gentle House, Butterfly Effect equals Conservatory. Proper horse for butterflies, like the one at zoos. Oh no, we are not doing names, but couldn't resist. I actually kind of like that. May go ahead and do that. Herminio, since you're here, actually. Yeah, her stats are looking kind of ash. I'm just thinking maybe it's better to retire her. Oh, Abigail, don't call it stupid. I don't think it's a bad name. I like butterflies, and I think conservatory is... I think it makes sense. I mean, it's a good play on words. You got to think about it. I would not say that's a stupid name. I actually kind of like it. I don't know who to replace. You know, I'm gonna replace Toxic Blonde. Yep. It's a building, but yeah, like it's still a good play on words for what butterfly effect represents, I think. I mean, there are there are horses named after buildings, or at least in some essence with wordplay, I should say. Um, I'm just putting horses in names now, so don't mind me. Chasing Hearts is getting old. Yeah, I kind of forget how long she's been back there, honestly. Um, Crazy Hunter, I really should be putting her in the dirt, shouldn't I? Universal Cup. Actually, that's what we'll do for you. 'Cause you don't have a title. My master, I don't know what to do with you. Like, you have one more grade one away from winning a dirt, but it's like she needs to run a sprinter dirt. There's nothing like that available for a long time. So, gotta be honest with you, I'm kind of thinking like maybe I will, retiring her without a title feels so weird, but at the same time, like, she's still fast. It's just, I have to put her in the right dirt races to win, and it's like she's not there anymore. Dubai World Cup is the Universal Cup. Yep, yep, yep. You know what? I'm just gonna see how long I can go without racing her. Gosh, there's no dirts for her until like the end of the year. That's so stupid, man. Like, there's nothing reasonable for her to run on the dirt until October. That's like, or no, yeah, October. I'm not putting her in any GWS races, so that's like really obnoxious, bro. You know what? I'm gonna do it. I mean, she'll still be in the blue at that point, which is really crazy to think about. Like, she'll still be content with running at that point. Yep, I know the Royal Ascot is approaching. So I haven't really been following. Like, I've barely been keeping up with highlights of horse racing in general. I've been out of the loop, but I will start catching up. Oh yeah, I watch them. Yep. Like I said, I haven't been actually keeping up with horse racing as of lately, but I know like the season is coming. Like, it's almost here. Like, everything is starting to turn up, so I'm gonna start paying more attention. September Sky hasn't been in a race since the Winter GP. 13 wins out of 20 starts with A grade ones. I don't even know what to do with her. Royal Ascot's in June. Yeah. Wait, what race are you talking about, Mouse? Are you talking about the Royal Ascot or something else? I was gonna say Ascot doesn't happen until later in the summer. Because it's always after the Derby. Like, the Ascot isn't before the Derby, it's always after the Derby. There's so much going on, man. Oh, September Sky, I don't know what to do with you, my girl. Um, 8 to 12. Spring Mile? Like, why? Gosh, I can't really put a lot of my good horses in races until like the beginning of the summer. It's a little bit annoying, but what are you gonna do? That's what the game is giving us. Like, could she run 6 furlongs? Um, I've never ran her 6. Is she fast enough for that? 84. Hmm. I wonder if she's capable of running at 6. She has second wind as well. She's definitely better at running the distance. I don't want to run her 6, so I'm going to have to be patient with her. I'm going to have to run her like in a grade 2 or something else. I know you're not happy we have to wait this long, but there's no good races for you, my girl. So, gosh, she'll have an impulse in the grade 2. This is annoying. I don't know what. Oh, never mind. I was gonna say I don't know what to do with her. Perfect. 10.5 furlongs. She'll be in the yellow. That's okay. Just a good grade 1 for her. All right. I'm just making sure everybody's in a race. Think we're all good. Vixen. I'm just trying to remember everybody's races. I think we're good. We've lost 2 horses, 2 fillies today. It is what it is, man. They were really just, the game wasn't telling me enough about them, and like only so much I can do. So it is what it is. Yeah, I was gonna say I know preliminaries for like a lot of championships and big events. They always start obviously months out before. The Derby pre pre evals for horses technically starts at the end of the year and goes into the next year. Um, Ascot, like you said, start those really soon. But yeah, I always remember it being in the summer, which is usually why I end up forgetting it because like in the summer I'm always so busy with just so many other things going on. Like I don't pay attention to the races outside of like the states as much. I'm only kind of aware of all the big races that are happening, obviously in my region because of just that's where I'm at. But like I said, I'm making more of an effort to do that this year. Let's actually see what Cleopatra's stats are back there. Oh man, how long have I been live for? 2 hours. Okay. I don't even know what we're doing. I kind of want to stop before breeding. Maybe some of you guys can help. Because I haven't even thought about breeding for this upcoming year, so I don't even know what I want to do. They want Fairy Singer with Cleopatra and Galaxy Star. Interesting. Why? Cleopatra. She has double S for speed, S for stamina. She has a lot of S's, actually. That's really good. Feel, heart, and toughness for the B, C, B range. Yeah, she should be fantastic. How old? Yeah, Chasing Hearts is 14. Wow. She's been back here for a long time. Didn't feel like it. I mean, we still have some youth on our side for most of the brood mares, though. Most of them are between 7 and 9, so that's good. We still have plenty of time. You have to see who's good matches with her. So who should we look at? I'm just curious why they want Fairy Singer with her. They want Fairy Singer with her and Cleopatra. I mean, and Galaxy Star, Western Tiger. I gotta make sure there's no inbreeding. Hold on. Western Tiger Suave. Okay, Flying Convoy. Awesome. See, they both have Suave Busters, so I wouldn't do that. They both have the same grandmother, technically. Just on different sides of the family. Chasing Hearts and Vivid. Flying Cowboy and Awesome. See, Awesome Autumn was good for Cleopatra. She's kind of been a miss for all of our other horses. These are the brood mares. We have to focus on Cleopatra, Tigris, Butterfly Effect, Galaxy Star. Freefair and Black Ruby are also good in their own right. See who matches Galaxy and Cleo really good. I feel like we could. I mean, I have to look at my spreadsheets to actually do like the eval. That's how I've come up with the recent horses we've gotten in a couple of years, and that takes that's a process. I'm not going to do that now, but I mean, there's flexibility here. We could breed Cleopatra and Galaxy Star with any of our good studs. We have Diamond Plan, we have Gentle House, we have Golden Boy. I still have to be worried about inbreeding with him. Stargazing, Formal Opera. I mean, we have half of the studs we can use with all of them. I don't even really know who to pick. You have Western Tiger, so I can't use Golden Boy. Like, Formal Opera, maybe? I don't like that temper and response rating from him. Diamond Plan. Don't like the temper rating on you either. Who really has the best stats over here? I would just see what the game says. Yeah. Golden Boy statistically, as far as like not having like anything D ranked, is the best, but they all kind of mirror each other, right? I feel like the broodmares are a little bit stronger. They have less bad stats. Like a lot of our broodmares don't have like D's necessarily, but like most of these guys have D's, which is not ideal. Yeah, I'm gonna have to come back to this. Like, just way, way, way too much going on. I'm gonna need to figure out. Like, this is not something we can figure out just by looking at it. I don't feel like there's enough. Like, there's a lot of options, but like to really figure out who's gonna work, that takes like a lot of time. Otherwise, we're just randomly putting horses together, hoping for the best. I don't really want to do that, you know. Might need to refresh the boys soon. Yeah, that's why I was glad we got 5 in our recent groups. Which that's the thing. I think we have more colts now. They're just not on track yet. Like a lot of our colts are still, yearlings, or still 1 years old, or about to hit the track for the first time. So we just don't have them on track. Because yeah, now I'm looking at it like these stats aren't what I want. I still think these horses are giving us solid horses, but it's not obviously where we need to be. Like Courtly Lark, no. Harry Singer, nah. Golden Boy is really the best quality wise. Hmm. But you also got to remember, there's still some good colts we haven't retired yet, right? I mean, let's actually look to see what we are racing with. Uh, Joker's card is not going to be that great back there, I can already tell. Solo Rider, he's going to be great back there. Don't even look at his stats now. Solo Rider will be good to put back there. Gosh, we're actually like Philly and Mare heavy. Delta Dream, but we just started racing with him. We do need more. We do need kind of a refresher. Gosh. Because like Valley King and Joker's card, they're decent, but they're not like double S stud quality, even though the game has put Joker's card at a double S rating. He's got 5 grade 1 wins and 19 starts with 11 wins. He's not terrible, but. And like as far as the in-game horses that are available, I'm just not feeling them. Like I don't want Deep Wonder. Then again, Deep Wonder is actually kind of interesting. Only because of his power rating, his growth type, his leg type, and the fact that he can run on turf and dirt, and he has good endurance on him. But I don't like the feel rating. The temper is actually okay at 55. It's not great, but that's doable. Shouldn't be giving us issues. All he has is free as a latent ability. It just feels like it feels like a lateral move. It just feels like buying one horse that's more or less going to be the same of what you already have back there. I feel like we need stronger quality studs, and like there's just not many available for us. Kinky Light, he's a gray. He'd be kind of fun to have. We haven't had a gray in a while. Decent stats, okay growth type. Really not going to start dropping off for another couple of years. Nielsen, you're not more suited. Like, are you kidding? I'm gonna work with Kinky Light. I'm gonna see. I actually kind of like the way he looks. I know Odd Trigger's still here, but like, tight not good, so he doesn't want to be bunched up. Winter okay, fast pace okay, 8 to 12, really good dirt horse. I mean, sustained growth type, but look at that drop off. I don't like how much of a dip that arrow is. I like it to be a little bit more rounded. That's the thing. I just don't like a lot of the horses that are available at the moment. So I think we're just gonna have to be a little bit more patient. We got Kinky Light though. I've never actually raced with him. Beautiful gray, really not a bad stat. So no abilities, but statistically maybe this will be a nice addition to the barn if I can keep him in a good rhythm. 9 to 13 on the turf, and he's okay with the dirt. I like his flexibility. So Kinky Light might be all right. I'm toss him 11 furlong, see how he goes. Kinky 1, new boy. Yep. We got to take baby steps, you know, because Delta Dream is going to be great. He's already showing signs of that. Like I said, Solo Rider, we'll just have to wait to retire him. And Joker's card and Valley King, I still don't know. Valley King could have a nice surge here. I mean, I'm on a winning streak with him. In fact, Valley King's actually doing really good right now. I've won. He's on a winning streak. He's on a 5-race winning streak. We started off winning a grade 2, then a grade 1, a grade 1, a grade. We won his last 4 grade 1s back to back. So Valley King is actually on a roll. His stats may not look like it, but clearly I'm figuring it out with him. 6 years old. Like, for what it's worth, I think the boys that we currently have on track are actually pretty good. Like I said, Joker's card, I don't know what his eval is going to be once we retire him. 5 grade 1 wins. Been on a little bit of a slumper with him. But Valley King, Solo Rider, and Delta Dream, they're doing good. So I still think it's just kind of a slow time for the boys. I don't think I can do anything else to really speed that along, you know? Yep, he has the great growth type, which I always love. You're on Prior Affair. Stop cheating. I hate how the AI always want to challenge you when they're like on the best horse in the race. Like, stop doing that. Probably be wrapping it up here soon, actually. So I still need to get stuff done for the day. I'm gonna get through up until breeding. Like, I'm gonna say before April starts, because I have no idea what we're gonna do this year. Kinky Light, the newest boy we just acquired. Heavy favoritism here in this 11 furlong open race. Beautiful gray, dark gray. Oh, he's got 2 bandages on the front right. All right, Kinky Light. Never raced with him. So it's been a pretty good day for the most part. I mean, we haven't run grade 1s because there aren't like any available in the beginning of the year. We've lost 2 fillies, unfortunately, but like, that kind of happens, man. I just always feel like there's going to be a turnover with having so many horses at some point. You race with so many horses, every single horse is not going to be a walk out of the park unless you're just that far into your game. We're still not that far in. We're only on year 38. And we're just now getting some really solid quality horses for the most part, but you know, we're still adjusting. We're still doing a lot. So like, yeah, they were difficult to run with. I don't think there was anything additionally I could have done. The game didn't want to tell me where they wanted to run on the track for their leg type. It's just like, what are you supposed to do? That's why I'm trying not to get hung up on certain horses that are just a real struggle. Even if I really want them to work, it's like if I can't figure it out, or if the game is just making it difficult and the horses just are making it difficult too, you kind of got to roll with the punches and just be like, you know what, it's probably not going to work with these girls. And that was the case for Bet On Me and Native Spirit. I wish it could have worked with those two, but like I said, I mean, they were so discouraged at like any slight competition. I feel like I think they both had bad heart ratings. I will never know. But anytime horses are struggling like that in the stretch against other horses, usually it's because they have a bad heart rating. Temper as well. Sandbar, yeah. Kinky Light should be a blast. I feel like it's going to be a good time with this dude. A little bit late on my stretch run with him. Please tell me you can fight back. I need to make sure. Sometimes I don't want to do that, but other times I do it intentionally because I need to make sure if we get in a slumper, we can dig out of it. The best horses I've raced with can always fight back. And yeah, I wasn't supposed to hold them that long in the stretch anyways, but I talk about it all the time. I always do this with new horses. I always do that with new horses. Hold them, wait to see if they can fight back. Because that tells me they have a good heart rating. If they get in that position and then they just start falling backwards and they end up losing the race, then I know they're probably not very gutsy and they're going to be a problem. Kinky Light has proven he is not going to be an issue with that. I can get him started earlier. It's good. It's good. I do like doing that with new horses that I'm running with. I have to figure out if they can dig themselves out. If we get into a problem, whether that's me or them or just the field we're running against, I need to know they can dig themselves out. Like Prior Fair is the favorite here in this grade 2, going 9 furlongs. This vaporweight, she's got her work cut out for her. Still good speed, a good power, good heart rating. Temper's awful. No latent ability. She's from Moonbee out of Ozamadam. And if we get caught in a situation like that, he should be okay as long as, you know, we've ran a good race with him. So I'm glad. Yeah, gosh, the Fillies are really moody, aren't they? The temper ratings have not been good. I might need to really... I didn't think I needed to focus on that again. I thought we got to a good point where we weren't really having, like... We weren't getting a lot of Fillies with temper recently. And now, like, it's... I should say as of late. And then now it seems like we're getting more Fillies again with that bad temper. So that may be something I need to pay more attention to. I need to look in the barn and see, like, how many of those brood mares actually have a bad temper rating. It's actually a lot you really have to pay attention to when it comes to breeding. Like, we all play, I mean, most of us, whether you play or watch people that play this game, you're familiar with it, so it becomes second nature. But sometimes you just kind of forget about it. Yeah, I wonder how many are actually moody. I just feel like it's something I've kind of forgotten about because I feel like our horses have gotten stronger. And like the temper hasn't always been an issue, but now it seems like it's kind of coming back up again. So, where's Prior Fair? Yep. Gotta go, right now. Right now. Push off. Ooh, Miss Vaporwave putting away Prior Fair. Challenge rejected. Could have accepted the jockey challenge, but who cares? Stronger, yeah. They're stronger, but still moody. Oh, look at Prior Fair. Falls completely out of the running. Miss Vaporwave puts him away. That's a good win there for our girl. Great win. Solid grade 2 win there. And Prior who? That horse ends up finishing in 9th place. Yeah, Thompson, you stunk that one up. Good win there for Miss Vaporwave. She's been consistent. That's really not surprising. She's actually been very consistent. That's the thing. Most of our horses we still have, they've been consistent. It's just they're not maybe winning certain grade 1s yet because they're not running grade 1s. But like most of our horses are at least consistent. We're finishing in the money or we're at least getting wins. The 11 was flying. Yeah, that race was half a furlong longer, was going to catch us, but thank goodness it wasn't. I didn't really feel we were going to lose that race at any point. I saw the 11 coming, but I'm like, we're okay. We're on cruise control. And, yeah, that was a pretty easy win there. Miss Vaporwave. That's her 9th win out of 13. I mean, she's doing well. She only has 2 grade 1 wins, but she's doing pretty darn well. I dropped the Princess Cup with her, and I remember that was a bit disappointing. But 9 wins out of 13 starts. We got to keep in mind, this was real life. These are really good stats for horses, man. That type of consistency is pretty amazing. I want her in the grade 2. I'm just going to keep her in the grade 2s for now. I mean, I think she's good enough to run in a grade 1 and just like, I don't know, just kind of waiting for them to really open up. Who else still needs to run? Kinky Light. All right, let's get you back. Grade 2, maybe? Yeah, let's see how he does in a grade 2. Azalea Cup for Kinky Light. You know what? Let's just toss him in there. My Joker's, Mr. Joker's card going to run some horses into the ground. You think so? His stats are not good. That stamina is awful. I like Joker. I mean, he's got 5 grade 1 wins, 11 wins total out of 19 starts, but like, that stamina is awful. The temper not good. Like, is he even worth using for breeding? I don't. The game gave him a double S rating. I don't really know why. Not a fan of the stats, to be honest. Just gonna check the brood mares here. Dang, I don't know, man. Chasing Hearts has B temper, okay. S temper for Cleopatra, I know that. S for Tigris of Stone. C for Real Happy. A for butterfly effect, A for free fear, B for... They don't even have bad temper ratings. What is happening? There's like 2 with like B and C. Everybody else is A and up. Like, where are the horses getting these temper ratings from? Keep in mind, Lee's Goal was back there. We just recently removed her. I don't know if she had a good temper rating. Maybe some of the other fillies that are or some of the other broodmares are no longer back here. Like, they don't even have bad temper ratings. So, the studs maybe? Definitely the studs. In fact, I think we just went through that, right? I said it. A lot of the studs have Ds. That's why we do need new boys. D for Diamond Plan, B for Gentle House, D for Courtly Lark, which I haven't even used, A for Fairy Singer, A for Golden Boy, D for Burning Wind, haven't used him, D for Stargazing, we have used him a couple of times, and D for Former Opera, yeah. It's the studs. Wow, the boys have the bad temper. It's not even the girls. You've had it completely wrong. It's the boys with the bad temper. The boys are spicy, or whatever you want to call them. The boys are spicy, not the girls. The girls are actually very mild-mannered, and the boys are like all throwing fits. So yeah, we definitely need some new ones. That temper rating, it's actually getting annoying. It's getting really annoying, so. All right, that's good to know. Gosh, I'm not gonna lie to you. Anybody watching this back as a video, I may avoid some of those guys with the D temper ratings. I really don't want to keep breeding that in because it's becoming a little bit of a problem now, and it's not enjoyable. So like, I think I'm really gonna have to narrow down the breeding and use like some of the same studs twice. Creates the possibility of inbreeding if you want to cross down the line. That's the downside. Gosh, we do need new boys. A third of them have D for temper. That's terrible. That's not acceptable. I guess I was just looking at their overall profile and ignoring the temper, but it's like it's actually kind of becoming a little bit of an annoyance now, so I probably need to like focus on that. Joker's card. He's up in a grade 3. It's pretty much all he can do now. Second favorite. His stats are like so random. It's like hopscotch with him. Connect 4, whatever. Good abilities, but bad stam, bad temper, the heart, the power. I'm going to retire him and just replace one of the other studs like Burning Wind or Courtly Lark just to see what his eval is. Probably not going to use him for breeding legitimately. That's so weird. It's usually always the fillies that end up having the temper problems, but a lot of the guys, they are not the calmest of the bunch, are they? We may have to do more selective breeding as well. Just because we can breed 8 horses or breed for 8 foals doesn't mean we should do that. It gives us coverage, yes, but also like sometimes we're getting horses that we're probably going to lose anyways, like the 2 fillies I've lost today, right? Chances are maybe they weren't worth doing the whole breeding for. I think it's good to still again have that coverage, but every horse out of a crop is not always going to be great. So breeding may be more selective this season. Maybe we only breed and get 4 foals or 5. Maybe we don't do the full 8, because I'm really now seeing how much of an issue that's kind of becoming with us losing our 2 fillies and some of the other horses that have bad temper ratings. Yeah, that's kind of a problem. If a horse has a bad temper, that's just going to make the job instantaneously harder, right? Even if they have good stats, the temper is always going to become a problem. So it's like, do you want to continue to do that? Probably not. That 10 is coming like a bat out of you-know-what, and there's not a darn thing I can do about it. Second is clear, 13, 1 are coming. Joker, hang on there, bud. 10 just got by. Joker's going to hold on for second. That's as best as he can do. I like Joker, don't get me wrong. I love all of our horses, but breeding-wise, I don't know, man. To be honest, I'm kind of feeling like to save ourselves some space and time, maybe just retire him, not put him in the Hall of Fame, or replace Courtly Lark or something goofy like that, just to see what his eval is, but like never actually use him for breeding. Because that's the thing, I can always replace horses in the barn. It's not like I have to use them ever. Yeah, I don't think there's really anything to gain with Joker's card. Did I win a title with him? No titles. Yeah, 5 grade 1 wins, 11. Yeah, I mean, that's not. That's. I mean, for where we are now, I kind of feel like that's underachieving. So I'm just gonna have him replace Courtney Lark just because I'm just curious what his eval and classification are. S and A, literally the same, and the cost didn't even go up that much. Such a lateral move. That's all it feels like. Just replacing one mediocre horse for another. Like I said, I'm not going to use him for breeding, but yeah, he was more or less in the same field as Courtney Lark. D temper. That's actually the problem. More than half of these guys have D for temper. Look at it this way. If we want to do breeding without bad temper this year, we'd have to use Gentle House, Fairy Singer, Golden Boy, and that's it. Fairy Singer, maybe the game was onto something, right? It mentioned Fairy Singer earlier. Maybe the game was trying to tell me your studs have bad temper ratings. Use Fairy Singer and somebody else like him. Keep the temper out. I may have to just go deeper with Gentle House, Fairy Singer, and Golden Boy because everybody else has a D. And I'm not retiring Solo Rider yet because he's still winning. I could retire him early, but that would feel like such a waste. Yeah, the other studs are good, but the temper rating is bad, and we don't have broodmares with double S. At least if we had all of our broodmares with maybe double S or S temper, I would feel better. Yeah, Cleo and Galaxy want Fairy Singer, so maybe I'll keep that then. Slight inbreeding if we ever get to that point down the line, but for now, I mean, I guess it should be fine because, yeah, the other guys, they have good stats, but that temper rating, it's just, yeah, it's not ideal. So I'm actually going to let the game stick to this. Fine, Fairy Singer for Cleopatra and Galaxy Star, and I'll figure out the rest. Don't guarantee I'm going to use every one of the broodmares back here. I should, but we'll see. Yeah, 5 out of our 8 studs have D temper. That is so bad. That's honestly really, really bad. I never knew it was that bad. All right, I think we'll do the last week of races and then that'll be it. To think, a 2.5 hour live stream and you get through 3 months because we have so many horses. It is going to take forever to progress, man. That's kind of why I want to narrow down breeding and not just go to the maximum number every year. I want to make sure we're doing what makes sense and probably worth the time. Just because we have the space doesn't mean we should abuse it every year, right? We still have a lot of horses, man, a lot. Am I forgetting a race with anybody? No, I don't think so. So, guess we'll be finishing with Shallow Light here in a grade 3. Golden Time, you have a bad temper. I'm just waiting for the game to take you away at this point. Yeah, only one more race? But I don't want to go into the 4th week of March. I don't want to do the 4th week of April's races, or March's races yet. Yeah, you're going to take a millennium to grow, which I was aware of. You don't want to wait that long to race. We don't have a choice, my girl. I don't know if there's anything doable. Quartz, finally. Okay, we can get you here. Grade 2 in the dirt. Probably not going to come close to winning, and that's not even the point. So yeah, only 2 more races. I guess that'll close it out. Delero's Gal. Oh, 3. Red Wings in a grade 2. So no grade 1s, but again, this is where we are in this game. And the grade 1s are just now starting to pop up. So I guess I'll knock these 3 out and then we'll be done. Gosh, we really do need better studs. Not. Look at the temper ratings for these guys. 55, 21, 34, 58. My bomb? Okay on the turf, good on the dirt, 91 speed, 63 stam, 94 feel, 91 temper. Not a good response, but I'm just going to grab him just because of the temper rating. Like, who cares about the rest? I mean, he's actually fast. Oh, Katie, go away, go away, go away, go away, go away. It's my horse, back off. Okay. I'm just, yeah, I mean, we got to get some better temper studs in there. I want, like, good temper will go a long way, will it not? All right, so 2 decent pickups. Kinky Light and just double checking the special ones. Anybody else with a good temper? Not really. It's just not a lot of good horses available with tempers. My bomb. Hope we can get you in a race here today. 6 to 10. You're a dirt horse, but you can also run on the turf. So good flexibility there. I kind of want to put him in a grade 1 and see how he handles. There we go. And that'll be happening last week. There's a lot of races that last week. In fact, I forgot there's 2 more weeks, actually. Maybe I can do more than that. Let me see. Maybe I can do up to the 4th. I forgot there's 5 weeks in March in this game, so let me just knock out this week, see how many races we'll have the following week. All right, so I think we've added 2 decent ones, 2 decent S-ranked boys with not ideal for Kinky Light, but hopefully that temper will hit at least 60. That's not 30s. And he's good everywhere else, so he shouldn't be a problem. 72 feel. Temper and feel kind of go hand in hand. So if you at least have a horse that has a really good feel rating, it should kind of help balance out that temper rating a bit. So he should be okay. And then on my bomb, 94 feel, 91 temper. In fact, this is fantastic. That's more of what we need across the board. But, you know, baby steps, right? So I'll do these 3 races and then see how many we'll have for the 4th week. Go from there. But I do need to actually get going here soon, so we'll see. Bolero's Gallop, up in and open. We have to beat 1 horse. Seriously? Moving Spirit? Field the Fillies, running 8 furlongs. Instead of just giving me a 12th place, we actually have to beat a horse, but okay. So I don't even know where she wants to run either. That's also a problem. I had no idea. Just right there. Studs have bad temper ratings, and I'm wondering why the horses are giving me a problem. Like, you know, Eric, if you would just take the time to look at your horses, you would see. Oh, bad temper. Who is that? I recognize the Silks. Who is in this field? Is that not one of my horses? No, it looked like it. The 11 horse. Snappy. And that's the favorite. Why does that tack look exactly like a horse I've lost? It looked like her tack is almost identical to Moon Trapper's. His or hers. I don't know if it's a filly or a colt. That's pretty interesting. Oh, no, 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 no. Calm down, calm down, calm down. You're okay. You're okay. You're okay. You're okay. Jeez, that temper is just... It's giving us such a problem now. Like, why did that just start happening? We haven't had issues with horses with temper for years. Now, all of a sudden, it's just coming out of the woodworks. I still have to beat 1 horse in this field. Oh, man. And not knowing the leg type is also proving to be one of the main issues. She's going to come in last, isn't she? Keep fighting, beat the 2, beat the 2, beat the 2. Oh my gosh. To try that hard just to finish 11th. So you hit your goal and the game doesn't take your horse away. And they gave me double S on the spurt. D for positioning. Okay, so Bolero's Gallop probably wants to be towards the front then. Okay. Oh, man, it is a rough time. It is a rough time. That is for sure. In fact, I think what I'm going to do after this live stream, I'm going to edit it into a video so I can have the watermark and overlay and everything good. It may be, I may take it offline while I'm editing it, and then I'll just re-upload it as a video as well. So at least it'll feel still kind of like watching a live stream even if you're watching it back. Red Wings up in this raid too, 6th favorite. Field of 7. All Fillies. Learning a little bit more about our girl here. Don't know what her temper is. Um, don't know what her speed is. Her stamina's awful. Save it for the next time. I used to have a tripod, and I don't know where it's at. Makes things a little bit easier for a landscape thing if I still am going to be recording this way until I get my capture software. But it's like, oh. Like, it took me forever to set my setup today, honestly. Like, forever. Not even perfect either. I just can't remember what I did last time I streamed. It was literally almost a year ago. So, like, the thing, it was the last time I've streamed this game was like July. Like, holy crap, man. 2 sevens here for Red Wings. I mean, she's been doing well. I don't have any complaints with her right now. No Rebo. She gets a great run. Plenty of stamina. And this could be a win. I don't know, maybe? Keep fighting, my girl. Keep fighting. Keep fighting. She's not supposed to win anyway, so wherever she finishes is actually going to be crazy. 3 ends up bouncing back on the inside. What can I do? She finishes second on the podium. We'll take it. That's a really, really good run. So Red Wings is actually coming into her own. Maybe she's not a B-ranked horse after all, Abigail. I think she's starting to show she knows how to finish in the money consistently, right? I'm getting good evals with her. Maybe the game had it pegged right. Maybe they just predicted her way before we could see it. They're like, yeah, she'll at least be a B-ranked horse and higher. Shella lights up into grade 3. This might be the last race, and she's actually the favorite. It'd be nice to get her another win. Next field, the Fillies and Mares. Speed and stamina still barely moving, but I'm not worried yet. Her stats don't look impressive at all, but they're consistent at least. 43 is the lowest, 80 is the highest, everything else is in the mid-60s. I'm just hoping next year she'll have a really big surge of growth where all these stats in the 60s will hit 70s. That should make her much more competitive. And she has good abilities. Keeping her out on front seems to work. So. Last race here. It is just a lot easier just to record from my current capture software. Like, I love live streaming more, obviously. Live streaming is way more enjoyable and entertaining for everybody, but it currently is kind of an annoying thing to have to set up just because of my current situation. So trying to get my girl to the front, and like, why are we running so heavy? Are you guys front runners too? You are. Oh, Flying Autumn, one of our Fillies we lost, of course, and Dry Angel. Get up there, get up there. Ah, bumped, didn't mean to do that. Just trying to get her to the front, man, that's all. Now, if she can win running this heavy and far in front, that is pretty incredible. I would say that she is really built for endurance quite nicely. I mean, look how much I'm trying to hold her back. I mean, at least we'll get second win. We're not going to get maxed down, not even close. Okay. No second wind. Yeah, not a good race. I couldn't get her to the front, man. Oh, that's disappointing. She needed a better start, and she usually gets out well. Oh, gosh, that's atrocious. That's atrocious. Like, what does the game want me to do? I tried getting her to the front. She really didn't want to get to the front with a sense of urgency. She was dragging along. I didn't want to burn her out, and it burned her out. You think the horse is ready. They give her favoritism, and then she can't even get out well enough to get to the front. Like, oh my gosh. Rough times right now. Not saying it's all bad. It's just like, with races like that, it's just like, Yeah, off to bed. Yeah, I'm getting off anyways. So Abigail, appreciate you and everybody else that came and stopped by at some point in the stream. And enjoy yourselves. Next 2004 thing will be a video probably, just to make some progress and not have to deal with setting up my live stream stuff. Until I get my capture software, it's just easier that way. So I appreciate you guys. So I will just keep rolling. If anybody's even here or not a big deal. I'm just doing all this to set up the ending of this video. 9 to 14 for a long, so ay. Still such a weird place for Shallow Light right now. She's not there yet. Grade 3 at 10 furlongs. Still what I have to do with her. Red Wings in the Cherry Cup, that's fine. I think she's ready for that. She's been consistent, finishing in the top 5. So now maybe we can start stringing some wins together for her. Who else did I race with? Valero's go? Gosh, so many of these horses have terrible temper ratings, and then I don't know their leg type. It's not a fun experience. It's definitely a little bit of an annoying one you have to adjust to. But everybody else is pretty much ready to go. So for my next video, we'll be starting finally with the kickoff of the GWS season and some grade 1s and finally get rolling in motion with that. But yeah, things were really good in the beginning of the video, the live stream. Then it just kind of tapered off towards the end because now it's like starting to get into the tougher races and starting to see which horses we're going to be able to keep and which ones are probably going to be a pain and we may lose at some point. I just think that's kind of the reality of where we are, which is just reminding me to be a little bit more narrow-minded with breeding, not in a bad way. When I say, I should actually say, to narrow down the breeding, to not just use every horse because they're back there, because like that's not going to accomplish what we need to accomplish. It's not going to help the cause. Just because we can breed 8 broodmares and studs and maybe get 8 foals doesn't mean we should do it, especially if it means we're going to pay for it later. And we're kind of dealing with that now. I'm realizing some of those pairings we probably should have left off, because if I was really paying attention, if I would have known that the temper rating was going to affect us the way it has and some of the issues we've encountered with some of our newest horses that are between 2 and 4 years old. Yeah, bad temper rating. Diamond Plan, your temper stinks. Joker's card stinks. Burning Wind, you stink. Stargazing, stink. Opera, stink. Like, I cannot believe you all have D. And I know it's right there. It's just, they never gave me problems themselves with their temper ratings. That's the funny part. Like, they're just passing it on to their offspring that are now inheriting and showing very bad manners. The boys, they didn't give me problems. Diamond Plan, Gentle House, Joker's like, these guys didn't give me problems with their temper rating, but now their children are like suffering the consequences of that, ironically. It's like, I don't want to touch any of you anymore. Because we don't have broodmares with S or double S across the board, so it's just like, ugh. Like, I don't want to retire Solo Rider. He would definitely help putting him back there, but he's still so competitive, and I'm still winning with him. Why would I retire him now? He's only 5 years old. He just turned 5. He's got 9 grade 1 wins out of 16 lifetime starts. 14 of his 16 wins have been, 14 out of his 16 races have been wins. I've only lost twice with this guy, okay? Like, he's still doing so well. It just doesn't make sense to retire him now. I just feel like that would, that's just not smart. So I think we just have to be patient. I just got to wait until the boys we're currently racing with are going to be able to be retired, and the ones I'm using back there, well, I'm just going to have to be more selective. This bad temper is kind of biting us in the butt now. And again, it's with all the horses that are between 3 and 4 years old now. Anybody that's 5 and up is fine, right? Valley King, fine. September Sky, fine. Shallow Light. That wasn't a good race there with her. mainly because I couldn't get her to the front. And I don't think it was necessarily her temper, but not getting her to the front early enough to settle her in ruined her race. I still think she's been fine. I've been relatively consistent. But then again, that's 2 races. She was supposed to win in the last 3, and she finished 14th in that open. And then, yeah, her temper's not great either. That could be kind of an issue with her. She's off and on. Sometimes she's okay, sometimes she's not. Solo Rider is fine. Frugal is fine. And then a couple of the 4-year-olds and 3-year-olds are okay, but still, it's still a lot of growth. Now, these 4, I think, are fine for the most part. Yeah, all these 4 are fine. This group is cool. Eminem, she might be done. Major River still developing. Crazy Hunter's fine. Bay City is straight. Bolero's gal, she's developing. She has a long way to go, so we just have to be patient. Delta Dream is good. Red Wings is looking better. Yeah, Red Wings is looking much better. So this thing is just kind of a struggle period with some of the other horses. Can't even say it's all bad, but you know, just think we should have a little bit more consistency. So it's a little bit up and down, but either way, that's going to do it. Appreciate you guys for the support. Next time we come back, it'll be a regular video, a long one as well, length of a live stream. Try to get as much done as we can. We'll get to breeding. I'll set all that up, and we're going to do more selective breeding this particular season because we cannot continue to pass the D-ranked temper down. It's affecting some horses in a bad way. We lost 2 fillies today. Out of my hands, really. Didn't know their leg types. They had bad tempers, not very gutsy. Don't really want to race with horses like that anyways. Beautiful girls, but they were not quite cut out for it. And we'll see. You can track them over time. Those horses I end up losing, they usually never turn out to be great anyways. The AI can't figure them out either. So that makes me feel better. It's not like I'm losing good horses that then turn into monsters that the AI control. They don't really turn out to be anything special. So if I lose them, it's not really a big deal. I forgot the 2-year-olds are in the stables now. Rapid Blade will be with Nozawa. Classy and Smart would be with Shiba. Who will be with Cook? Cook is getting First Down Dash and Point Black. Okay. Like, Flying Autumn has 1 win. And I think that was probably with me. She hasn't even won since I lost her. So not missing anything. Mythical has 2 wins. She's actually doing okay. She's finishing pretty consistently in her races. So maybe she'll turn out to something. I couldn't figure her out for the life of me. She probably had a bad temper. In fact, Moonbee? Maybe. I don't know. Moonbee has Aunt B in his pedigree. Bad temper down there. Fed Native Spirit. Couldn't figure her out. She was the favorite in the last race in the grade 2. She finished 9th. So, you know what I mean? Like, horses I end up losing, it's like they kind of were just problematic anyways. I don't think there was anything I could have really done. Yeah, our horses are kind of spread out amongst all the owners, except for our trainers, except for Pink. Silver gets nobody, and Franck is getting nobody. Okay. All of our closest relationship trainers are getting our 2-year-olds this year. Fantastic, so no problem in that regard. So appreciate you guys' love and support, and I'll see you in the next video, in the next live stream, which I don't know when that will be. Probably, I'll try to live stream maybe in 2 weeks. That might be the next best time, I should say. If I can live stream during the day at any point, I will, but I'm just saying tentatively 2 weeks for now, because that's just where I know my schedule should be. Yeah, so that'll do it. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you all later. Goodbye.